Hey, everybody. Welcome to Metal Movies and Brewksy'S Live. I'm your host, Batmerk. And tonight is the 65th show. So we've been going for a while now. Thank you very much for everybody that's tuned in and watching the show. I really appreciate you. Tonight we have on a co-host. If you guys could give a warm welcome to Chris Fisk.
Hey! Yeah!
Yeah, that's what's up, man. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, man.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah. I like that. I like the vocal odometer that you have on your graph. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah, I figure that's better than just a static image. You know, you're like, wow, I'm talking to a picture.
That's cool. It's like Kit from you know.
Michael, I'm ready to engage Turbo Pursuit mode.
Michael.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, Jason? Jason
Hey.
Baskin. Yeah, it's Sunday, man. I had to work some OT yesterday, so we had to shift it over a day. You know, sometimes it happens, but yeah, we are here. So yeah, and it's Memorial Day. I just want to say cheers to all my fallen brothers out there. We love you. Thank you, everything you've done for us. Skull, cheers. Yeah, I forgot how to say it in Russian, but thank you.
What is there? Probst, gunpie?
Yeah, something like that, right? Vidania or something like that. I forgot.
L'chaim.
Oh, hell yeah, man. I got some how's everything been going so far with you today, man?
Oh, dude. Yeah, honestly, I feel overwhelmed.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like I wasn't like my first campaign when I kicked that sucker off. I think I did everything you weren't supposed to do because I spent weeks where there was literally nobody backing. It was just, you know, and now, you know, I launched on Bancrofts on Friday night and it reached funded, like fully funded, like everybody's in the clear. You know, I'm like, oh my God, I made the money. Like I could actually ship this out now.
Oh yeah.
We made two stretch goals in 24 hours. We got all the way through to the second stretch goal. And I'm now like, okay, now the real work begins. I'm like looking over at my I have this whole workshop in my dining room, and it's all full of all the craft stuff. Like it looks like I knocked over a Michael's or like a Hobby Lobby. So yeah, I'm getting all that stuff ready now.
It's like the North Pole up there, like the toy shop, getting all this shit ready.
Wow. Yeah, like the little elf. I want to be a dentist. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good one. I love those ones. I put those on during I don't know, man. Like as I age, I'm starting to like get back into the jolly of Christmas now. I love all that stuff. Yeah, it's fun. I love the elf stuff too, and just the whole, you know, that side of Christmas. But
oh yeah,
that's got some movie news I wanted to share with you guys. I don't know if you've ever seen Mandy before with Nicolas Cage.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what you thought about it, but for me, I was like one of the coolest movies I've seen. Definitely one of the most metal movies I've seen.
Yes. Remember when she laughed at him?
That was harsh, man. That was brutal, you know. The savagery, bro. But the director Panos Cosmatos has another movie coming out he's been working on. Oh. And it's a vampire movie right here. It's on bloodydisgusting.com. Flesh of the Gods. Sorry, guys. Elizabeth Olsen joins Kristen Stewart in Panos Cosmatos' vampire movie. It was announced almost exactly 1 year after the visionary director Panos Cosmatos has enlisted Kristen Stewart and Oscar Isaac to star in this new movie, Flesh of the Gods. And Deadline reports today that Elizabeth Olsen has also now joined the cast. Let's see here. It's written by Andrew Kevin Walker from Seven. Hell yeah. The Killer. Wrote the screenplay, Flesh of the Gods, an 80s set vampire movie set in the glamorous, surrealistic world of hedonism, thrills, and violence. Let's see here. What else they say? Deadline. Let's see here. Also reports that Oscar Isaac, Kristen Stewart will portray Raul and Alex, a married couple in glittering 80s LA. That sounds crazy. Who descend each evening from their luxury skyscraper condo. Sounds like some yuppie shit, like from American Psycho, and head into an electric nightmare realm when they cross paths with the mysterious and enigmatic nameless Elizabeth Olsen and her partying cabal. Raul and Alex are seduced into a glamorous, surrealistic, and a world of hedonism, thrills, and violence. So be on the lookout for that one, guys. I think that sounds pretty cool. For me, I kind of like follow directors now. I don't know about you, but that's like one guy I'm always looking out for his movies. You know.
You know, this film is going to be heavily like 80s synth. Like, there's going to be a lot of like 80s synth music and neon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm down, dude.
Definitely,
Mandy is an underrated film, dude. It is so good, and I talk to people, I'm like, have you seen it? And they're like, no, not really. I'm like, dude, this is Nicolas Cage with the leash off. Like, the director just said, have fun.
Yeah.
There is a duel with chainsaws in this movie.
He goes full Cage, you know?
Yes.
And I think that scene where he gets the bottle, you know, where all alcoholics hide their last bottle, you know, he gets it.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I don't know, man. Like, I love Cage. I think for me, he's like our generation's like Christopher Lee, Vincent Price, and Peter Cushing all thrown together, you know?
Yeah.
Into like an entity, you know? Yeah, I can't wait for it. Thanks for stopping by, Victor the Lore Seeker. Hell yeah, man. Thank you. We got the Dukes here. What's up, brother? How you doing? Thanks for stopping by. Howdy. Yeah. Happy Memorial Day. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. And that movie, like I was watching some of the special features. I still haven't bought it yet because I wanted to get like a bunch of stuff for that movie. I want some T-shirts, and I really like it. The axe, dude. That weapon he makes. Fucking and Cosmatos was saying that when he was making the movie, it was, you know, he based it off of like metal album covers, and he had a different kind of actor in mind, someone, you know, more, you know, a little better shape, I guess. But Nicolas Cage he just stole the role, dude. You know, he just got in there and he owned it, you know. So got
put the money in the box.
Put the money in the box. We got the Batman. There's some new the Batman news that just dropped right now. I don't know if you guys heard about that, but yeah, I guess the sequel to the Batman, directed by Matt Reeves, is set to begin filming in London early next year, according to UK production news. So I guess it's 50-50 legit. There's been a lot of mixed news out there. I don't want to say false news because I don't really know for sure, but I'm kind of looking forward to that movie. I hope they kind of fix some stuff. I thought the first one had some cool stuff, and then it also had some shit in there personally. But
did you see the Penguin series at all?
Dude, I dug it. I don't know if you saw it, but
I loved it. I am not like a gangster guy, really. Like, Breaking Bad was my first kind of foray into gangster stuff, and I absolutely loved that. And I had a buddy say, if you like Breaking Bad, you're gonna love Penguin. And I did. And here's the thing is, like, I'm not into the girl boss stuff, but I was rooting for her the whole damn time because the Penguin is such a despicable character. Yeah. I mean, hats off to freaking Colin Farrell for pulling that off. I didn't even know that was him.
It's, dude, and like the way it kind of sets up at the very end, the way it ends, he's like in his gothic, like, you know, setup, you know what I mean? And he's getting into politics, and that's what I'm saying. There's just certain perfections about that universe, but there's certain tweaks where I'm just like, nope, get rid of that. But there's a lot of cool stuff that they have, like the setting looks great. Penguin's cool. He's obviously, you know, I don't think I've ever seen them do anything like that level as far as comic book offshot for a character of a villain.
It's so good.
You know,
like, he held his own. Like, that's the thing is, like, there was literally no Batman in that Penguin series. No. And I was enthralled. Like, I loved every second of it. I wanted to see what happened next.
Oh, totally. And for me, like, I'm a Batman stan, or a Batman simp. So I kind of like all the different iterations. I like the grounded, gritty Batman, but I also like the fantastical sci-fi version that we get in the comics, you know, where he's got the Hellbat armor and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What did you think of Thomas Wayne in the Flashpoint Paradox?
Oh, in the comic?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I love that Batman too. I'd love to see, like, you know, Jeffrey Dean Morgan play him. I think that's cool too. He's my favorite character, dude. Like, at the end of the day, it's like I keep going back to it. Like, yeah, he's a ripoff of the Shadow, and he's a bunch of other characters, but he's so much more than that too. And he's the biggest character in all of the world, but he's still my favorite, man. He's got everything. He checks all, like, the boxes, you know. Yep. I'm looking forward to Batman the Barbarian that's coming out.
Oh wow,
Fourth Street Batman comic. It's not the first time they've done it. I know Grant Morrison did it, and they also did it on the Brave and the Bold cartoon with what's his name from Office Space?
Dietrich Bader.
Yeah, that was awesome. So I'm looking forward to that, and I like the Barbarian shit too. I mean, you know what I'm talking about. You like fantasy, like You like Sword and Sorcery? Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, Tolkien, Howard. I got a little bit of metal news. Nothing too crazy, but this is a band that was formed after another band that broke up. So the remnants of this band is called Soulfly, and it's Max Calavera's band from he started after he left Sepultura, the Brazilian band. And this was a band that when they first came out years ago, it was very it was tribal metal. I don't never really remember hearing tribal metal before this, where they brought in all the different percussions and drums and all that kind of tribal Latin, or just tribal in general. And I guess, they're working on the 13th album. He's saying that it's going to be kind of inspired by their first album, but it's going to go different ways. Bands like Gojira, that band from France. I don't know if you've ever heard Gojira before, but
Gojira, yeah,
they're pretty awesome, pretty tribal. Let's see here. Yeah, Sepultura. Yeah, they were cool, man. And I like some of Soulfly stuff. It was kind of new metal a little bit, but I liked a lot of the percussion. I'm always down to hear new things with metal specifically.
Yeah, and drummers do double.
I also like where kind of Gojira. Okay.
Yeah,
dude, and whatchamacallit, who was it? There's another band called Il Nino. They were on the Freddy vs. Jason soundtrack. Best movie soundtrack of all time.
Yeah, dude, Il Nino is freaking awesome.
And they have 3 drummers. I never really I listened to like their singles, like the one from Freddy vs. Jason. It was had a catchy chorus, and the little drum beats and shit. And they combined this. It's all like Latin metal, and I want to check them out. But Sepultura kind of opened the gates for them. But yeah, Dukester saying that Sepultura was awesome. Yeah,
he's a musician, so
right. First I've heard Soulfly called new metal. Yeah, no, that was a time. I think it had some of the just some of the beats, also a little bit of groove too. There's a lot of grooves in there as well. I forgot what song they did. I think he did like a rap song. I could have swore he did with like Ice Cube or some shit.
Oh damn,
Ice Cube or Ice-T. It was a long time ago.
Old school when maybe this is dating me, but I remember back in the day when Aerosmith and Run DMC got together.
Yeah,
rock this way. Yeah, I was like, okay, that opened the floodgates. Hey,
what up, Corey? Thanks for stopping by, man. I haven't seen that guy in a while. You picked the perfect stream to jump in. We're talking some fantasy tonight, so
it's got bids.
I've been knee deep in fantasy, or at least Norse metal fantasy. The shit I'm making up the last 3 years, and getting to that a little bit too. I'll check out Soulfly. Also, there's another band that he's in with I think one of the guys from Mastodon, one of the guys from Dillinger Escape Plan. I forgot. I got the record though. It's called Kill or Be Killed. I think that's the name of it. Kill or Be Killed.
Nice.
And it was just an album these fools threw together like in 24 hours. They did like 12 songs and recorded it, I think.
Oh, something nice.
Like that. Yeah. Kill or Be Killed. I think that was the name of it. Durst did a bit on a track for Soulfly. Bleed. I remember that. Yeah.
Oh god, Fred.
I'm starting to remember that. Yeah, keep rolling. Yeah, new metal's back though, man. Like I've been watching Liefeld's podcast, and he was talking about how like the 90s are back, and he was saying that the kind of the music didn't come back, and like, oh, it's back. The fucking new metal bands are like playing all over the place now. Limp Bizkit's back. Dude. That's not really my thing, but I like some of the stuff of like I like Deftones. I like a couple Korn songs.
Yeah. I was featured on MTV when you remember when they had the Korn cover contests back in like the late 90s when Issues. Yeah, they showed my pick like 5 seconds of it, but I'm like, it finally got there. I was watching with my dad. He's like, well, at least we know it arrived intact.
Yeah.
Oh, that was so great.
Yeah, I don't really like it either. I like a couple songs. I'm more just like into the Scandinavian melodic death metal. That's where I've been kind of chilling the last 20 plus years. But back then, man, I was playing reggae music. I was doing fucking alternative metal. I was doing rock back in high school.
Yeah.
Then I discovered Europe. I was like, oh, okay, fuck this shit. Let's see here. No music sucks. Yeah, I listen to everything too. It's kind of good for inspiration. I got something else for you guys. I think you might dig it. You might not dig it though. It's kind of some. It's like a bittersweet kind of thing. That's the way I would look at it.
Mhm.
But it is news. Either way though, get ready to hold your ears. Rambo origin movie. John Rambo hits the Cannes market. So they're going to make a new Rambo movie in origin. Yeah, so in the words of John Rambo, nothing is over. Action vets Millennium Media known for their has Fallen, Hitman's Bodyguard, Expendables, John Rambo. They've done some cool stuff. Yeah. They're actually they searched out Rare Exports, Big Game, and Sisu. I don't know if you guys saw Sisu last year. That movie is phenomenal. Fucking come on. Sisu director Hamadi Helender is set to direct from a screenplay by writing duo Rory Haynes and Shohrab Noshi Ravani, Black Adam. The aim is to start principal photography in October for Thailand. The film's plot is under wraps, but it will begin the origin story of young John Rambo, a.k.a. your boy Zach's first kill graphic novel inspiration. Rambo during the Vietnam War. With casting in early stages, we understand Sylvester Stallone is aware of the project, but is not currently involved. We hear the door is open from producers should a fitting role arise. So they're looking for a new Rambo, guys. We're getting a new Rambo. Stallone is out. Stallone is out,
dude. You know this is gonna be violent if it's got the guy from Sisu in it.
That's what I'm saying. It's bittersweet, right? Like there's no more Stallone. But it's bittersweet because that guy, he's a great director. I don't know if you've seen Rare Exports, the Santa movie.
Yes, that's no elf or like whatever that. What it was like? They captured him or whatever, and he was like, the elves were coming to rescue him, and they're all evil.
And like they find Krampus, like they never really did anything with it. You know, it was just kind of isolated, like frozen in that barn, kind of.
Yep.
Like what's Krampus? What are they gonna do with that Krampus over there? They didn't even do anything with it.
Did you ever see the Krampus comedy horror movie that came out like a couple of years, like 10 years ago?
Oh, yeah, the big budget, like Universal one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that movie's awesome.
Yeah, dude. Like I saw the director's cut and like they don't skimp on like the kids getting eaten and stuff.
No,
it's like, yes.
Fantastic. Yeah, I watched that. I love a good horror like Christmas movie. It's like I think it's kind of like our generation's Gremlins, you know?
Yeah.
Where it's still kind of tasteful, like the family could watch it, you know, but it still kind of pushes it a little bit.
Yeah.
Some prog metal. Porcupine Tree. You have to check them out. Check out Solution 45. They broke up. They're not a band anymore, but there's some pretty good melodic death prog metal from Sweden. Sisu was dope as fuck. Yes, and they're working on a trilogy for Sisu. The next one's going to be totally different. The Finland men, I call the Finnish men. I don't know what they would call it, but
the Laplander.
Yeah, right. There you go. You got it. I know you know. He's gonna have something to do with that money in the next movie, allegedly. But they're gonna just take it in a different direction. You got to do that with sequels in a way, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes
keep
you do,
it
right?
Fresh. Yeah.
With the movies, you know. A lot of new music does suck. Yes, it does. But yeah. Hey, what's up, Edwin? Thanks for stopping by, brother.
Hey,
thanks all you guys for stopping by. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
So we're going for about almost 25 minutes now. I figure we can take a look at your campaign, man. I don't know. I'll go ahead and share the link. You guys, if you want to back the book, I got the link at the top. It's pinned all the way at the top for you. And I'm going to go ahead and share the campaign. Let's see here.
Sweet.
Infantile Chronicles. Let's see here. This is the wrong one.
Cataclysm. Yeah.
Yeah, they're good, man. I've seen them live. They're pretty good live band. I don't love them, but they sound like solid, you know, like live.
Yeah.
But this is your campaign, man. This is your new book. You want to tell us a little bit about it?
Sure. So INFINITALE Chronicles is a epic fantasy series that started in around 1991. That was when I originally started developing a tabletop role-playing game with my friends and a couple of an anonymous guinea pig kids from around the town that I grew up in, Pelham, New Hampshire, where we spent our weekends in the library doing this. This was long before Google, so I had full kind of run of the library, and started researching a whole bunch of books on folklore from various stuff, because we had a few Dungeons and Dragons books, but they were always checked out, or like we couldn't afford them, and like the new series came in. So nerdy me started trying to make my own game system. And the game world's only as big as the dungeon master, or as it's called in INFINITALE, the narrator. So we researched all sorts of mythology, from the Kalevala of Finland, the Snorri Sturluson's Walsong Saga, the Mabinogi from Welsh mythology. We even went into Irish myth with like the Tuatha Dé Danann or Tuatha. And I started the INFINITALE, the actual role-playing game, kind of out of order, where players that are in the game are actually played in a future setting, and later on a different group, after the original group kind of disbanded, we played kind of the earlier setting. So there was actually kind of multiple kind of game groups, and the ones in the War of the Trees, or the Cad Gatho, if you're going by the Welsh stuff, it's kind of the origin story of the elves. And if you're familiar at all with the kind of the philosophical, there's this thing called the was it Plato's allegory of the cave? If I'm not sure if you're familiar with it.
I'm not. No.
So basically, to kind of give it a quick run through, the idea is that in Plato's allegory of the cave, there's this reality that these people were limited to. Their whole lives, they've been told this one thing. And they're, slaves trapped in a cave, and all they saw were shadows on the wall. And one day, one of those slaves escapes and goes out into the real world and sees everything that is not like those shadows that they were presented on the wall. And he comes back to his fellow slaves and says, guys, the world is much different than we were told. And they didn't believe him. They're like, no, it's Cypher in the Matrix. I know it's not meat, but it tastes good, So our story kind of starts with this, not at the beginning, like a false beginning. And that's why the first book was called Second Genesis, because our heroes are these pretty people with problems, these eternally young people. They never age, they never get sick. Hell, they don't even really get pregnant. Like, it's hedonism at its best. And one day, the queen of one of these seven sovereignties that have been sectionated out across this continent by these custodial gods, she gets pregnant. And their whole lives they had everything given to them as long as they just did what they were told. And one day they're told, hey, queen, your kid that you just gave birth to, you're going to need to sacrifice it to the gods.
Oh shit.
And she said no. And the entire reality, everything she's ever been told, starts shattering around her. And her husband finds out, basically her husband, this guy Kaelin, says to Aisling, the queen who got pregnant, what's going on? Like, what are we going to do? Blah, blah, blah. And she's like, well, I'm seeing these visions and these dreams. Like, because pregnancy is this weird concept to them. So she's like, I'm having like hallucinations. I'm having all of these visions. Something's telling me to go to this forbidden place we're not allowed to go to. And she tries to go there, and her husband says, no. You keep things here, hold down the fort here. I'm going to go to that place, that forbidden place that we're not supposed to go to, because I'm not sick and I can do it with a couple of, loyal guys. We can go and check it out and see what's going on over there. And he ends up going there, and he finds a book, and he can't read the book. But luckily for him, as soon as they escape basically the Indiana Jones style collapsing of this temple where they found the book, they end up being captured by their mortal enemies, the Chronuti, or the fauns, these savage bestial creatures that they've basically been ordered by the gods to kill in these wild hunts. And it turns out one of those beasts can actually speak their language, and says the book they found is actually in an ancient language that everybody used to speak. And the book, he reads it to them and starts revealing that everything they've been told was a lie, and that the gods are not the gods. Their entire origin was not what they were told. and we start learning that the elves were actually a very magical creatures. Like they could understand this thing. In the beginning, there was the Big Bang, so to speak, and there was this giant crystal that shattered into dust particle fragments and created the all of creation. And they called it the Zohir. And to manipulate the Zohir, it was basically magic. You were reaching into the clay of creation and shaping it to your will. And these were all forgotten arts, so they're now relearning kind of what their heritage was, and it's kind of upset a bunch of people. And let's just say that magic isn't a technology like in Dungeons and Dragons. It's not a reliable thing. It's a dark, dangerous, and esoteric art. And we see in the second book that maybe they should have been a little less hasty in diving into this dangerous into this arcane study. So
this sounds pretty epic, man. It's very intriguing.
Oh, sweet.
Is there so there's like obviously like a king and a queen elf or whatnot, probably different tribes and stuff like that.
So the continent of Foithla, where the setting where this takes place, is broken out into 7 sovereignties. Oh, shit. And these 7 sovereignties are run by queens, so it's a matriarchal society. The sovereignties never talk to one another. Oh, they're kind of compartmentalized, and we're starting to see, as they're questioning, well, why are our parents, basically our custodial gods, telling us not to go over to see these other people? Maybe we should go check what is it, Vault 42? Maybe we should go see what's over there.
Trying to gatekeep everything.
Yep. And it's let's just say it's not as much of a paradise as people were originally led to believe. So
this is epic, man.
Sweet.
And you have these really cool tiers, man. This is the world you were talking about right here that you created.
Yep. All of those big lettered areas are the different sovereignties. And so everything with like tier in front of it. Tier means land of in Irish. So like Tir y Gothen, where the story initially takes place, means the land of the tree. And then, you've got Tir y Garrig there, the land of stones. Tir o Afanith, the land of water, many waters, basically waterfalls. Tir Glesting, the bright lands. Tir na Oiger, which is like the land of ice. Tir Ildathach, the patchwork land, and Tir na Anwin, the dark lands.
That's awesome, man. So, and then you also have a bunch of different versions of the book that people can pick up.
Oh yeah. That's the mystery meat of this campaign. So we have the standard edition, which was created by the original art team. Antonio Brandeo did the inks and the paneling, and Alzir Alves did the color. So that was the same team that did the first book. And I ran a survey after the first book was fulfilled, and I got a bunch of feedback, and some of it was on art and so on. So I thought, well, let's see what another team could do. So other than just the standard edition, there's also the alternate art edition, which is the same exact story, but it's completely made by a different art team. So you get a different artistic vision of the same story. And then there's a third edition, which is the manga, which Antonio and I did. So it's like his inks, and then we did the Zipatone shading and all that stuff. And it's in the manga format. It's read right to left. All the dialogue is in English, but all the sound effects are in Japanese. And I'm conducting an experiment where whichever one of the 3 editions gets back to the most, that'll be the future of the series going forward.
Mm-hmm. How's it looking so far?
Right. I think I'll put up a graphical representation, but right now, manga is winning by a very small margin.
You like that manga, huh?
Oh yeah, black and white.
That alternate edition, is that the same format, like size format as traditional?
Yeah, so I didn't resize it to like the traditional European 8x11 or A4 or whatever, but it definitely has more of a storybook like Bandes des Années approach, whereas the standard edition is more kind of Western comic-y style.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. It's like maybe a little bit bigger.
Yeah, in fact, you can if you scroll up to the so like people are like, well, where show me some examples of interior pages, because you want to buy something or you want to see something before you want to buy it. Each one of those, you can click the button that says free preview, and it will open up a new tab, and it will show you what that You can flip through the book, and on top of that, it's 15-page preview, and on top of that, you can download the PDF and do with it whatever you want.
Oh, that's gangster, man. I don't think you guys can see my screen, but go to the campaign page and you could see it right there. We have another co-host, Brian Christgau. Everybody,
hey,
what's up, Chris? Pleasure to meet you, sir.
Yeah, pleasure to meet you again, man.
Oh wait, have we met before? I have trouble keeping track of the people that I've met on stream and I haven't.
Oh yeah. I think we met. I think it was on Vinny Tartamella's stream a few times.
Oh, okay, all right. Yeah. See, I always feel bad because I don't always remember everybody or whether I met them. Even if I know them, I don't necessarily remember hanging out with them. It's part ADD and it's part being on a billion different fucking streams. So they all start to blur into each other.
Cool, man. I'm digging the art on here, man.
I'm liking what I see too.
Is there a catch-up tier for the original book? If I want to get book 1, is that on here too as well?
Yeah, so if you scroll down on the page, there's the legacy add-ons, and we have some limited edition variant covers from the first campaign. So you can get the first print editions. There's also a link in there to the Amazon edition if you want the second printing. And if you get the manga acts almost like a trade paperback because you get books 1 and 2 together.
Oh, okay.
Bitchin'. Did I see a VHS cover up above? It's badass, dude. Damn, you got merch at the Yin Yang.
He's got all the cards. He's got everything, man.
God, I need to get more.
I remember on the first campaign back in the a few years ago. Yeah, because I could have sworn I remember you from Vinny's show back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Yeah.
Like, these are dope, But I can never. Yeah, I always wanted to pick this up because I love elf stuff. And now you're here with book 2.
Yeah.
For doing book 3 or.
Yeah. So here's what's cool. We made the second stretch goal. Okay. And the second stretch goal guarantees everybody who's done a physical perk or digital perk, they will get the first 36 pages black and white of book 3.
Oh, wow.
Bitchin'. So, nice little preview, huh?
Yeah. So book 2 is 120 pages. The manga is 180 pages. And then the book 3 preview is like 36 pages.
Damn.
So you're getting some content.
Yeah, you get some money. Yeah. The prices are like right here, like the 2-book bundle, a featured tier for $38, man. You get all 3 what is it? All 3 looks like you get 3 books, right?
No, you get actually technically you do get 3 books because you're getting the preview of book 3. Yeah. But in the 2-book bundle here, what you're getting is the standard edition and the alternate edition in a slipcase that's got that cool piece of art from what is it? Clark O'Clesia, who he's a great artist that helped jump on board for this.
That's cool.
Oh yeah, man. Where's that link, yo?
It's pinned at the top of the chat.
Oh, oh wait, that's right. Yeah, no, you don't see that in StreamYard. So okay. I feel slightly less stupid.
That's cool that
you actually have a little dinero right now, so I actually can do the catch up tier.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, and then really digging the baddies in here. Those fawns, Is there any inspiration? I'm thinking there is obviously some inspiration from the Tuat di Danann, right?
Oh yes. In fact, the Althar, the elves basically are regarded in this book and in later books as the Tuat di Tenin or Tenu, and Tenu is one of the many names that Danu was given.
Yeah, so, and a lot of people really they don't really dive into like Irish or Celtic or folklore too much. Tolkien did a little bit, but it's really like Brian said, it's eclectic. I hardly ever see it. The only thing I really seen like that really blew up was Slain with Pat Mills and
right.
The Horn of God.
Yeah, I got for Christmas. The
Beasley.
Biz. Nobody beats the Biz.
Yeah.
So it's cool, like to see that and Cool Holman.
Oh yeah. Cool Colleen. So what if Cool Colleen, what if he and the whole Hibernia, Ireland, and all that stuff, what if we went a few thousand years before that, before the arrival of the two-a-day to Hibernia, before the Formorians? Like, that's where the INFINITALE Chronicles kind of starts, where it's giving you this origin of, well, where did the two-a-day come from? Because it said they sailed from ships beyond the sea. So
yeah, they came from nowhere.
Yeah,
they have theories. Oh, you did the colors on some of this, huh? That's cool.
Well, yeah, I can't take credit for all the colors. Like, I colored, that picture there of Aisling there with the nice cans on the story synopsis. That was a picture that it was a line art illustration that I had gotten in a Perfect 10 tier when I backed Genuine Comics Perfect 10.
Whoa.
Pal Roderick's got me the sketch tier, or I got the sketch tier from him of Aisling there in line art, and I just threw color on it.
So whoa! I'm sorry, I got to interrupt. Chris, did you just refer to a woman's breasts as cans?
Yeah, I'm a real classy guy.
Sir, I take grave offense. They should always be referred to as Hooters. Fun bags works too.
Sweater meat, like dairy cannons, like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm a boob man. Yeah,
super soakers.
I'm about that cool on myself, but still appreciate a nice rack.
Yeah,
you got an ultimate bundle too. All books, poster, map, magnets.
Oh yeah, I threw everything I could into that. So you get all 3 books. You get the magnets, the wall poster, the canvas map, you name it. Yeah.
You got a trailer up here too. A lot of people don't do trailers that much anymore. It's like hit or miss. I love trailers. I try to do one for all my books if I can. Go ahead and play the trailer if that's cool.
Sweet. Yeah, sure.
Get in there with that.
Knowledge is like a seed. When sown in fertile minds, it opens doors to new possibilities. Truth, once buried by the ages, is again revealed. The unimaginable becomes demystified. New wonders are discovered that transcend the limitations of previous understanding. However, some doors should never be opened. Our tale continues with the divergent paths of our heroes. As a naive king toils with ancient powers beyond his control, a grieving queen makes a fateful decision that forever changes their world.
Word, Mo. Word, Mo Biggs.
INFINITALE Chronicles, the War of the Trees.
Oh, I love that, man.
Yeah, that's a great trailer. What up, K-pop?
I'm glad that I'm happy this book came out, man. Because again, seeing the first book, I remember like you from Vinny's show back in the day, and it's thinking, damn, I gotta scoop that up, but slipped through the cracks, and now this one's back and it's doing good. Looks like you're on. Looks like you launched on Bancroft's a couple days ago, and it's going strong right now.
Yep.
Hell,
Yeah.
Should be.
Yeah.
This is the way to do it right here.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah. At the very bottom of the campaign page, there's a little list of the stretch goals, and we blew past the first one on Bancroft's like within the hour, and
Bancroft, man, love that guy.
Yeah, man, dude. He's
done so much, man, for so many of us.
Yes. Yeah. I got the hashtag Mad Lad title from him.
Oh, no show. No shit.
Yeah,
tell the truth, he needs to have his Aussie card revoked. Yeah, I said it, Michael. If you happen to be listening or watching, you should need to have your Aussie card revoked. Because can you believe that motherfucker has never ever seen Mad Max or Mad Max 2?
Way.
Aussie card revoked. Even if he gets bitten by, even if he does live in like the poisonous reptile capital of the world.
Well, it's Melbourne there. It's the London of the South Seas.
Pretty brutal. What's up,
Yeah, you just
K-pop?
don't want to get caught in that outback.
Yeah, right out in the never. You go out to Woodwood,
Yeah.
you disappear.
Run into that fucking motherfucker from Wolf
awesome.
Creek.
Yeah. Oh, God.
God.
Yeah. What's it? Ivan Milat there? He hunted Americans. Hey, look at
Oh,
them
my
bloody
God.
seppos all bleeding out.
Oh,
my God.
head on a stick.
Yeah.
That
They made a
fucking
TV
actor,
show.
man, is too much.
They made a TV show of it too. I never saw the TV show. I wanted to check that out. But
Neither
oh my
did
God.
I. They're doing
The
a final
movies
one, evidently. They're doing like
stuck
one
with
more.
me.
Crikey.
Forgot his name, but Walt Longmire. He's in because he's Australian. The guy that plays Longmire. You would never believe it, but he's Australian and he's in the TV show. I'm like, oh, he's gonna fucking kill. He's gonna kill Longmire. No. Let's see here. Only once when he came to America. Yeah, these are the stretch goals right here. You got a two-sided bookmark. Looks like you went past that. Book 3 preview. So that's going to be like a floppy something, or is that a digital, or what's that going to be?
So for the physical backers, it'll be a perfect bound black and white softcover book that's 36 pages.
Free.
And it's free, and it's done by Nerium Nova. So it's her art there. That's her art on the cover as well.
Oh, she's killer, man. I remember when she was working. Yeah, with Red Gaze, man. I seen him not too long ago. I was like, dude, you got to come back, man.
Hell yeah. Yeah.
He does.
I got to hit Finney up too. I haven't talked to him in years.
We
really.
need to get so many people back together again.
Yeah.
Yeah, he needs to come back. What was it?
Sunsworn.
Sunsworn. Yeah, man. Yeah, some cool characters in there. I really dug that book. I was reading that. And then you got the $5,000 stretch goal. It's a mini art book.
Yep. So the mini art book will have all of the art that I've used in both promotion, concept, some of the stuff that you don't get to see in the books, all composed into one little abridged edition of The Art of Infinitale.
And that's a book too. It's going to be a book as well, huh?
Yep. Yeah. No, it's not. It's not digital. That one will not be available for everyone, though. That one only goes to people who backed limited perks or limited bundles.
Okay.
But a bundle is anything like a book and a card. So there's actually a book and a card bundle on here, or this 2-book bundle that we see here, and those will be recipients of the art book.
Oh, okay. So for instance, if I backed the featured tier, I'd get that.
Yep.
Oh, fuck yeah, man. Yeah, I definitely want to get this. It's on my list, man. I'm gonna definitely be picking it up before the campaign closes.
Sweet. Yeah, and the if you backed a digital tier, so if you backed any of like the digital editions, the second stretch goal there, the Nerium Nova preview book there, you'll get a digital version of that.
Let's see. Finally read one of my comments, and it's one that makes no sense out of context. Metal Movies and Brewksy'S is truly inspired by Bancroft. Yeah, man.
Zing.
Let's see here. She's got a dang Mo. I bet he doesn't even eat at Outback Steakhouse. Damn.
Oh, snap.
Dropping some
Fire.
Yes, man. I haven't seen that guy.
Fire.
But dude, man, the art book, that's my jam, bro. I love all the, I like to see how the sausage is made,
Yeah.
all the meats and potatoes behind the scenes. I love that shit, bro. That's oh, I can't wait to get that because I want to, can't wait to back and get all this. And that's what I want, more than anything, like more than any type of extra. I love getting extra books. Like if people could do that, and it's hard. It's like impossible. Like, so for you to even add two more books is like stretch goals. That's like, that's like something that I would want, more than anything. I just love more physical reading material content,
Yeah.
personally.
It's like you appreciate the tchotchkes. What up, Genuine?
Yes.
You appreciate the tchotchkes, right? Like I've got like this awesome bottle opener that Matt sent me. It's like a big fucking like chunk of metal, like you could like stick it in the slot in a sock and just use it as a flail or something, or jack somebody up and hit them in the fucking throat. I love that shit, but to me, my favorite extra, I like original art, of course. Sketch cards are awesome.
Yeah,
but that's the shit. But I also love when the book is just bigger, when there's just more story, where you're getting and more art, where you just get more stuff. You know?
Yeah. The original book size, the page count was originally supposed to be about 60 pages. Because the first book was about 54 pages, and I ended up sending it out to my proofreaders because, again, I built all this back in 1991 through like early 2000s. So this story's already been written. It's a matter of chopping it up into a coherent format. And I was, like the way the Lord of the Rings was originally written. It wasn't written as 3 books. It was written as one big, huge
one book. I've always thought of it as one book.
Yeah, and publishers were like, dude, this is too expensive to get out the door. We got to chop it up. So,
which was the smart thing to do.
Yeah, you make more money. So
exactly, yeah.
So when I was looking at this, I chopped up book 2 at certain points, and my proofreaders, this is why you never get proofreaders who are your friends. You get like my former coworker Oscar, if you're watching, thanks and F you.
There it is. There it is. No, you need those people.
Yeah, he read through it, and a couple other people, and they're like, dude, your pacing sucks. You've got events here. Like this, it's not that your book is terrible, it's that nothing happens. So I was like, okay, well, what are we going to do? So he read through I got 10 books worth of this stuff. And he's like, okay, what if we put this part here? We move this around. So I did a little musical chairs, massaged a bit. And he's like, okay, this is awesome. This is a great breaking off point. This makes sense. And the book went from 60 pages to 120 pages. so we doubled the page count. Yeah, we've got a beefy boy here. So
that's awesome.
We now have 120 pages for book 2. Or if you're reading the manga, it's 180 pages. So if you back the manga, you're going to get over 200 pages for like $10 plus shipping.
So is the manga like printed, like mirrored backwards, like they used to do here when they were first releasing manga, or is it just like left to right, regular format, but just in that like digest size?
It's manga. In fact, if you scroll through this campaign, I actually give you free previews of all of the books. You get like 15 pages for free. You just click on a little button and it'll open up in a flipping page and you can download the PDF. So the manga edition
shows confidence.
Yeah. The manga edition reads from right to left like a traditional manga, but it's not mirrored. Like I painstakingly went through every page and made sure it wasn't just a matter of hitting, mirror or flip horizontal. Like panels were rearranged. There's actually added pages. So in the manga, there's actually additional content.
No shit. Damn, Brian, that's fucking correct. That's rad.
You guys, a book to back, man. Come and scoop this up. Right now he's at 42 backers. Let's see if we could get another backer by the end of the night. $33.92. That'd be awesome. Yeah, man. I'm definitely gonna be picking this book up, and we're gonna jump to something else right now, and we'll look at it in a spell. Brian, how's your day going, man? What you been up to?
It's good. It's okay. It's okay. It's been like hectic, but like kind of like in a good way. And got the news. I can like officially be public about it. My graphic novel Blood Moon Stomp has been sold to a mainstream publisher.
Oh, damn, dude!
And it's going to be in like brick and mortar bookstores like Barnes and Nobles. And
hell yeah,
shit like that. Right. So, I mean, mind you, that has nothing to do with my writing, right? Which I think is like average at best. But Maxi Diallo's amazing art and colors are by Mike Spicer. How could they say no to those two dudes, right? And it's my boy Adam, right? So, of course, anything he produces is going to be quality. But the funny thing is that's coming out in 2026. But I'm such a ungrateful piece of shit. Instead of being happy, I'm just like 2026.
No need.
It's like, I don't know if you guys have ever seen that movie Chopper. That's another movie I think that like bankrupt.
Yeah, Chopper Road.
Yeah, Uncle Chop Chop.
No,
right?
he does. He plays clips like Cheers, Big E is.
Yeah.
Fucking hilarious movie. If you've never seen it, it's fucking awesome. If you didn't think that Eric Bana was a great actor, he's amazing and unrecognizable.
Yeah.
He's
Right?
great as Hector.
But there's this.
Oh yeah.
But there was like on the DVD, there's a special feature where the director goes to like where Chopper Reed lives.
Oh god.
And interviews him. And so he's like, so Mike, like when's the movie coming out? And he's like, oh yeah, it's coming out in 2000. And he's like, 2000?
I'm not gonna be alive.
Yeah, well, it's this thing with the distributor. 2000? Yeah, it's a thing with the distributor. 2000? Right? He's just butthurt, right? And like that's how that's basically me right now. 2026.
Are you gonna play Russian roulette with one of the news reporters like he did?
But yeah, no, I'm super grateful and psyched that's happening. So
yeah, man,
news will be coming in.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, no, I've been busy. But dude, have you done? Is it time to go fucking gunning for Beasties?
Yeah, it is actually.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. You know me, I love me some monsters.
Mo says bullshit. Brian's writing is good. It's like he made a deal with the devil, trading his hair for pure talent.
I got gypped. I want like fab. Well, hopefully they'll cure that shit in my lifetime. I'll have big like Fabio flowing locks and shit.
There's like
Kappa.
oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Are you saying Choppa? Yeah. This is Kappa.
Kappa. I love these dudes. Love these dudes.
I guess they're legendary creatures found in Japanese folklore.
Yokai.
They are considered to be one of many sujin. A hair-covered variation of a kappa is called a haisubi. Kappa are similar to Finnish. Hey, here you go, dude. Naki, Scandinavian, Germanic. Which is
the knackers.
Yeah, the water spirits.
Yep.
Yeah.
Kelpie from Scotland. Scotland. Yep. And Japanese Hibagon.
These motherfuckers will drown you, though.
Here, Chip.
No, they'll take your soul from your butt.
Yeah. Look at this one right here. These ones look like turtles. These ones look a little different. And then you have this skull right here. Or scroll. I use this on the thumbnail right here. It's crazy.
Yeah, they're turtle men.
Yeah, but they have a bowl-shaped head, and their brain sits in their bowl.
Well, no, actually, that's not where their brain is. They have that indentation, that bowl shape, to hold water, so they can get out of the water and come and fuck with you.
Yep.
As long as there's water in that cup that's on top of their skulls, right?
Drain it out and they die.
Right?
Source of their power, it says right here, the cavity must be full of water whenever the copper is away from the water. If it spills, the copper will be unable to move. And,
and the way to fuck with them, unless you want to get to it, because I just their weakness is the funniest and the coolest like yokai thing ever.
Go for it, brother. What is it?
Oh yeah. Thing about the kappa is they will fucking drown you. They will get out of the water and come and get your ass, right? However, even though they have murderous intent towards you, they are polite. They are the most polite monsters.
Definitely Japanese.
And so
very mannerly.
Oh yeah, what you do is you bow to them.
Go for your butt.
Right? And they can't help themselves because even though they're coming to fuck you up, they have to bow back. And every time they bow, a little bit of that water sloshes out. And so you just keep bowing to them, and they'll keep bowing until finally that indentation in their skull will be dry, and then they're helpless.
Yeah.
What's up, John Sword? Thanks for stopping by.
What's up?
That's pretty brutal, man. And then here's some actual scroll artwork, from their museum. They're all like different ones. It's like you got Raphael over here, you got Leonardo. You got Slash.
Yeah.
Pretty
Yeah,
awesome.
you know, I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, I wonder if Eastman and Laird had ever seen illustrations of Kappa.
Well, in the
Maybe.
third movie, they were called Kappa. When they went back to Imperial Japan, they called them the Kappa.
Oh, see, I never saw that one.
It was the worst one. You didn't miss anything. I'm sorry. Like,
no, there's a reason. Once I saw Go Ninja, Go Ninja, Go, I was like, yeah, I like the first movie. I think it's an excellent, an underrated movie. But once I saw fucking Vanilla Ice getting busy,
I like 3 more than 2.
I was like,
really?
Yeah. I mean, I look back and watch it again. I mean, for a kids movie, it's like it's a
which
Japan.
one did you?
Well, he comes back too, but he's like reincarnated in feudal Japan. You know.
Yep. Well, they like the technology of the puppetry got worse because they were cutting corners with each release of the movie. By the time they got to the series where they added Venus as like the 5th turtle, their mouths weren't even moving while they were talking.
They had strokes and shit.
It's like what they did with the original Planet of the Apes. It's back in the day. Instead of being like, gee, I think we got something big here. Maybe we should pump more money into it, right? Which is like what you saw with Game of Thrones, right? Where they're like, oh, we have a hit. Let's pump more money into this. Instead, they were just like, nah, like, well, we got something. People want a sequel. Okay, let's get the budget. Like all the Planet of the Apes movies, the budget gradually shrank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, like even in like the second Beneath the Planet of the Apes, which I have like a bizarre love of, even though it's like a real mess. It's a fascinating mess. You can see it for the crowd scenes that some of the gorillas are just like guys are just literally had masks pulled over their head. They didn't even like black out their eyes or anything.
Come on, man.
But I'm sorry. See, that's what I do. I derail the fucking stream. We're talking about Kappas.
Well, yeah. In the second movie, like the reason why they had Toka and Razor instead of Bebop and Rocksteady is because they were cutting corners. They didn't have the money to ship in a giant rhino and a warthog. So they're like, what do we got? A German Shepherd and a alligator snapper. There we go. Bam.
And their mouths like barely moves. You know, he's just drooling all the time.
I think the original. Yeah, no, because you know what I think it was? I think, like, you know how some movies are successful just enough not to get a theatrical sequel, but a direct-to-video sequel?
Yep.
Right? That's what it must have been. It's like the first Turtles movie, they were just like, yeah, it's a hit, but we spent all this dough on it, and it wasn't that much.
The kids love Vanilla Ice.
Yeah, they love the ice.
Hey, man. Hey,
man. Shredder, man. That's why I went and watched it. I was like, where's
Kevin Nash?
Yeah, Kevin Nash. Like, that was the best.
Kevin Nash, Big Sexy is up in that?
Yeah.
He's Super Shredder, bro. Fucking
really?
10 foot tall Super Shredder. Yeah. He rips down the bridge and doesn't do shit. I'm like,
gets stabbed in the chest and doesn't react.
Like, damn, bro. And then the Michael Bay fucking Shredder with the like this shit. I don't know. It was kind of an abomination in some ways, but that first Turtle movie though, man, the first Jim Henson one, that was best, bro.
It's actually really good.
And it's faithful to the comic too.
It was faithful to the comic, and all the things that annoy you were things that they did to make the movie goofier in post-production. Yeah. Like that wasn't actually the original director's intention, right? So you'll hear like when a slice of pizza hits like what's his face, a Splinter in the face, you hear this splotch sound, like this cartoonish splotch. They were doing a lot of that shit to try to make it more kid friendly because it was I was not I remember going into that like thinking, oh, this is gonna be like a cartoon or something, and then no, it was actually like relatively faithful to the comic book.
Well, remember how because in the cartoon, Splinter was Hamato Yoshi, who got turned into the rat person thing. But in the comic, the Splinter was Hamato Yoshi's pet rat.
Yes.
And that's why in the movie it was completely different. And that threw me for a loop as a kid. I'm like, what the hell?
I forgot about that detail. See, I haven't watched that in a long time, but I just remember it, you know, being good. Yeah. And then watching it again a few years later and thinking, I bet that's dog shit. And Elias Koteas is great. As Casey Jones,
dude, Elmo, the voice of Elmo, Kevin Clash, he's the voice of Splinter.
No,
like, oh wow, yeah.
You know what's funny is when I tell like my millennial friends that like like the whole Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles thing, the whole thing is a satire. It's a goof on Frank Miller's Daredevil run.
Oh yeah,
like, blows their minds. I'm like, yeah, like that radioactive isotope.
Yeah,
Matt Murdock in the eyes.
Yeah, well, and Splinter and Stick, and then the Foot Clan and the hand.
Yeah, it's the foot. Yeah. Exactly. Like when the Netflix series had the hand, I had to explain to my millennial friend. I'm like, get it? Hand, foot, get it? See what I told you?
They don't. Yeah, they just don't know, man.
Yeah,
they just don't know. Yeah, but I mean that's a testament to what a great creation that they made. That it's like something that could just stand on its own. One of those things like Young Frankenstein. Most people I know that love that movie have never seen Son of Frankenstein, and that whole movie is basically a spoof of that one movie. Yeah. But they still find it hilarious. So it's just like this is as it should be.
Well, it blew my mind that Eastman and Laird were from New Hampshire. I thought the Ninja Turtles was like a love letter to New York. These guys weren't in New York. They were in. No. They were literally up the street from me. Hey, good night.
Shit. I'm so glad that those dudes reconciled. That actually made my heart feel like.
Oh yeah, that Matt kind of documentary. They kind of show that a little bit.
Yeah, that made cool. Because it's just like, come on, dudes. It's like you made something beautiful that's dear to the hearts of millions. So there's no reason why you can't fucking pal up.
Yeah,
I got a movie trailer for you, Brian.
Oh,
got your boy Ethan in here from
From what?
Hey, Jack.
Hey, Dad. You have a date?
She asked me out last minute.
I want you to go. Have fun, all right?
Yeah, this is Ren. You're saying Jack is missing?
When's the last time you saw him?
I had a date.
You mean the woman you picked up last week?
Tell me what actually happened.
A wolf killed my dog.
Jack! Dogs just don't fare well in horror movies.
I saw a wolf. He has Jack, and nobody believes me.
I know this is a lot to take in.
I'm not crazy. He's out there.
You're worried about the wrong person.
I know my own son.
Seems like you're living your life through him. You greedy little piggy.
Alma.
Search the trees. Search everywhere.
Where is Jack? Where is everybody?
The whole town's coming down with something.
Oh, I'm sorry. The wolf has my boy. We can stop him.
You greedy piggies! You're all gonna die! It's coming for you!
Where's Jack?
He stole Jack.
You know where he is. You've always known.
And what the heck is going on?
Where is Jack, Ren?
It's not me.
Where did you come from?
This ends now.
He loves you! Find him!
Oh, my son, man! Why are you doing this?
Kill the wolf for me.
I think it looks pretty. A little bit of the Wicker Man, right? A little bit of that.
Sweet.
Definitely some kind of cult, right?
Yeah.
Right, that are like wearing animal skins, right? Like the berserkers channel the power of the animal. No, it looks interesting. Has the director done anything that I'm familiar with?
I never even heard. I just know that Ethan Embry was in there. He's a great old that metal movie he did was fucking bad. He was painting the painting through the movie. The one we covered like a year ago.
Yes, the Devil's Candy. Love that movie.
Devil's Candy. That was good. Definitely Three Little Pigs reference in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely a cult. I don't think it's a werewolf, but kind of reminds me a little bit of Lords of Salem from Rob Zombie a little bit too. Let's see here.
Damn, it's got an 8.1 on IMDb.
Oh, that's not bad
This
at
is
all.
Jack was the wolf all along.
Yeah.
You should get a free action figure from this movie with Jack in the Box kids meal. Ooh, that'd be brutal.
That'd be amazing.
The burger is not cooked.
I did like seeing that. Like obviously someone's up in some wolf skin. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's pretty crazy.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it looks like it's some kind of like a pagan magic going down in the American Southwest.
Yeah, skinwalkers.
Yep.
Yeah, right. You guys down to play a guessing game real quick?
Fuck
sure.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Black Metal Decode.
Can you guess that name?
All right. Last
What is
time,
the name of that
actually
band?
got it. Hold on. Let me.
This one's got a pretty clean bitmap on it too. For the,
Can you do me a favor? Torment?
Close.
See, sometimes you gotta hold on. Let me back away. I don't know that.
Is it? Yeah. Let's see. Torm. Is that an H?
Looks like an H. Could be a K though.
Yeah. Torm. Is that a W? Z at the end? Is that a Z or is that a T?
Dude, you always know this works best if you Wheel of Fortune this motherfucker.
Yeah.
What's up,
People
Dave?
who annoy you.
Dave in a minute.
Can we get a letter?
Drawn Sword's hella close. He's on fire.
Tormentium. Oh.
Yeah. Almost.
English, do you speak it?
Envil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that could be a K, the T, but it's like corm. Like I don't know. I mean, this is like trying to read my doctor's handwriting when he writes prescriptions.
Well, I mean, the whole black metal lettering thing. At least it makes me. I'm assuming that it's like Austin Osman-Spare, the guy who created Sigils, right? Mm-hmm. Where you basically, it's like you take a that can be read only by your subconscious mind.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. It actually is. It's Tormentum. Then there's another band too called Tormentium.
Tormentium.
Nihongo God, they can
so many bands. There's so many bands there's bands with the same name. Like it's crazy. Like if you go just looking for bands, it's fucking nuts. In black metal specifically.
Wow.
It's vast. There's thousands and thousands of bands.
Who needs secret codes when you could just write in death metal?
Exactly. Well, I think. Well, I mean, that's what you get with a subculture, right? And a fandom.
Right.
We all love having our inside shit. Oh. Right? So I guess that's kind of like an inside thing.
Yeah.
Right? Obviously there have got to be some people who are particularly skilled, but it's not like there's a specific rule book.
No, there's always ways of doing it.
Right.
I got a little track right here by a band called Cataclysm. I showed them a little bit earlier. I'm gonna play a little track by them. So if you guys want to get up, get a drink, I'm gonna go get me some more whiskey. I
might get myself some absinthe. Actually,
seen these guys live before too. They're pretty solid. Again, I don't own any of their albums or nothing like that, but they sounded good live. For me, that's very, very big. If I could get around to seeing a band live, and it's cool too, man. You'd buy a ticket, $40, and you'd see like 4 bands, House of Blues.
Hell yeah.
I miss those days, but this is a new song. I've heard like maybe 10 seconds of it. So Cataclysm, The Rabbit Hole. Bill. On to the topic. Oh, big.
Welcome to the Great Reset.
Damn. Brutal. Fucking breakdown right there.
Yeah, man.
There's no left or right now. I told you before, and I'll tell you again. No one's coming. No one's coming.
Little blasty.
No one's
Little blast attack.
No one's coming. No one's coming. No one's coming to save you.
You got the boom.
Yeah.
man.
I love that
drummer,
drum.
man.
Dude, I'm telling you, live.
The drummer's really
It's
good.
so fucking hard.
Yeah, man.
All their albums, dude.
People think metal's all about the guitars. It's really all about the drum.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to get in a fight with that drummer. If to be able to pull off that type of stuff,
Yeah.
I got hit 100 times before I even knew what happened.
Yeah. Pretty fucking rude.
Play some soccer, bro. Yeah, that was I like that. I only heard like I heard a little bit of it, you know.
Yeah,
I missed the first part of it, and heavy. You know what I mean? Though you see how like they're kind of solid sounding, you know, like they're
Yeah,
not
man.
reinventing
No,
the
I
death
thought
metal
that was-
wheel or nothing, but they're
Yeah.
they're solid. You know what I mean?
Yep.
That's what I
Yeah,
like
no,
about
I
them.
was digging that.
They sound great live. You know. Okay, here we
That's
got some
awesome.
new cats. Thanks for stopping
Hey.
by. Adega Outlaw. Got a
Up?
bunch of peeps in here. We
Good
got Chris
call,
Fisk. So who is
bienvenue.
that's you, Chris? Who is that in the what character is that right there on that avatar?
So that is
That's from the book, right?
Darwin. Yeah, he's one of the soldiers from Thierry Gothen who survives an encounter with a what they refer to as a royal hydra. This thing's like 7 stories tall, and it
That's fucking hard.
it's got acidic
huh?
blood, and it
Dude, fucking
it-
xenomorph, bro.
yeah, it basically it's got
Metal
its
as
different heads. And I based the Hydra instead of off of the Greek Hydra, you know, from Jason and the Argonauts. I based it off of the Irish and the Celtic Bayther.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, this thing works a little differently. Where instead of chopping off its heads and new ones grow back, it's the opposite. You chop the head off and a body grows from that head.
That's
Okay,
like the
that's
Samael.
spooky.
Kind of like a Samael, right? Or the Hydra, right?
Yeah. It so it creates more problems the more heads you lop off.
Is that going to
And,
be in the first or second book, or
In the first book, when they go to that forbidden city, they encounter this thing and it decimates their little group, like just rips them apart. One guy just gets eaten right off the bat, and then another one gets basically torn in half.
Metal.
Do you have
Yeah.
is he like one of the main like so you okay, so you have like a main characters in the story, like elves?
Yeah, so it's an ensemble cast, and it's
Okay.
a multi-generational story. And
Okay.
the first generation starts off with Queen Aisling here, who is the queen of that Tirigothan sovereignty, and her king consort husband, Kalen, is the one that leads that doomed group into the Forbidden City. And basically, very few survivors come back.
Fuck.
Yeah.
And he's one of the survivors though, right? That avatar you got?
Yeah, that's Darwin. That's one of the few soldiers that comes back, or at least survived that specific encounter.
So he's like a badass, huh?
Oh yeah, yeah. In fact,
He's a badass. He's like your Conan. No.
well, because he's Elfar, he's not going to be as jacked or whatever. Because again, these are pretty people with problems. They've lived in this 90210 of hedonism, where they never got old. They have no consequences for like sex or anything. So they're just these pretty people with problems, Yeah. And yeah, he's kind of an ass, but yeah, I would say he's a hero, but some people might see him kind of as a villain in some regards. And if you read the free preview of the manga edition on the page, you kind of understand why some people think he's kind of an asshole. Because let's just say he's not afraid of killing. He kind of enjoys it.
Oh, really? Oh, he's like
So
that.
it's
Huh?
almost like a Dexter Morgan.
Yeah, he's got a bloodlust, huh? Yeah, I can't wait for Dexter. I'm actually like the new season drops on my birthday. That and Superman.
Oh hell yeah!
All the shit's
Nice.
coming into play.
Oh
So.
yeah.
Two
I'm
birthday
trying to put
presents.
Ryan. Do you like Dexter, Chris?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Are you
Watch
caught
it.
up?
No, I'm not caught up. I'm kind of watching it. Like Vinny's been streaming some of the series. Like it's funny because like when I was in the gaming industry, I worked on a game called Defiance, which was a video game and a TV show for the Sci-Fi Channel, and half the cast of Dexter was on the Defiance show.
Oh,
So
that's wild.
yeah, Julie Benz, Rita, Dexter's
remember her.
girlfriend. Yeah, she was the main governor of Defiance. And then Jamie Murray, who was the pyromaniac from season 2, she plays this Castathan alien, and she got one of our producers kicked off the set because she was doing a naked scene, and she said that he was creeping her out.
Damn, she went to HR, huh?
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, Mike? Thanks for stopping by, bro.
Hey.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's great. I watched all of them. I just watched the new prequel show. It was pretty good. It's like I want to see more of that too. Even I would even take some more of that as well with Christian Slater and the younger cast.
Nice.
What he's doing, in those few years. But where they're taking the story now into New York, it's going to be pretty fucking epic from what it looks like. I think they're really gonna expand it. I think they're gonna do like a John Wick type thing. Personally, that's the way I like a fraternity of serial killers.
Yeah, the anti-hero group. Like,
well, actually, no. Like, I'm thinking, like this is the way I would do it. I would set it up to where there's a fraternity of serial killers, like kind of like Hostel, and they have places all over the world. And Dexter's gonna go in there and he's gonna fucking he's gonna murk them all out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, one by one. Game of death. Yeah.
That's how I would write it. But I don't know. But I know Peter Dinklage is in there, so is Uma Thurman.
Oh wow!
Big Cadoop, big. Okay, that's a lot of creeping clopping. I almost juggalo whooped whoopity whoop. You like this whoop whoop? Okay. Morse code in here.
What the fuck?
English? Do you speak?
The
Speaking wobonics over here.
Omayo mo shindaru.
Yeah.
Yosh.
Yeah, man. So we did that, and then I have another new trailer for you guys. You guys probably have seen it. If you haven't, you're welcome. And hold on, because here we go.
Yeah, boy.
My son, tell me why we fight.
Because our enemy still lives.
You all have traveled far and miss the warmth of home. But tonight, Think of only one thing. Killing the monster.
Oh! Sold.
You're not hearing me. There's something else up in the sky. And it's not human.
I pray you bloody your spear tonight. You are ready now. There's only one way to kill it. We must fight together.
Here we go. What happens if we survive?
Oh shit!
Looks awesome.
Yeah, there's only one thing that's
June 6th. Oh, okay.
turning me off from that.
It's the animation, right?
No, I love that style. They do that in the League of Legends, the Arcane series.
Oh my god, which is incredibly beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah. My only thing is,
I love the animation style. Although this is doing that thing that they do in the Spider-Verse movies, where they choppy, like move a frame or two, so it has kind of like a jerky look.
Yeah. Well,
right. That I'm not crazy about, but still, that's like a minor gripe.
So, have you ever seen Matt Berry's Toast of London?
No.
So, do you know who Matt Berry is? He's a British comedian.
Yeah.
He had this thing where he's like, how to stay out of the friend zone. And he's like, oh, you say that chivalry isn't dead, madam. And he's like carrying her aquarium. Where should we take this? And she's like, oh, well, I'm moving in with my boyfriend. Fuck you. And he just drops the tank and walks away. You know, like zero tolerance, like for anything. And for me, like, I'm a huge fan of Vikings, not a fan of girl bosses. And Shield Maidens did not do that. I don't want to see women like
I know, it drives me crazy.
It's like they can't help themselves in modern. Like I get it. You know, we want to have chicks in it and blah blah blah, and it's cool. And I'm not like super misogynist or anything, but like,
that's got nothing to do with it.
Yeah, stop with the butch tough. Like I don't mind butch chicks. I don't mind tough chicks. I love freaking aliens too. You know, but. We don't need like the whole thing. They're like, oh, well, we found a Viking burial site and it had a woman in it. It proved that she was like, it's like, no, you're not like you're pushing Marxist modern crap into dude.
I've lost friends over this. I literally lost friends.
There's one woman they found. One.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's the one
they put her in the Northman, and that was one woman. She's a big girl too. She's a big girl.
Yeah,
but there was
like.
one.
Like all this crap where
no, they brought their wives with them when they were going raiding, raping, and pillaging, and
they were the gleaners.
Women caught the men trying to SA one of the villagers. They would kill them. They would kill that guy because, of course, one Viking chick could take out 20 Viking men.
Well, yeah, well, that and it's just like it does such a disservice to legit Scandinavian.
Shit.
Like,
I think in the movie though, it's gonna be like the whole village taking on the predator. I think she just kind of like she's just one voice in that one tale. She's not gonna
right.
No, what it looks like they're doing
was like that. It was girl boss. That was Mary Sue. But I still like it.
It looks like what they're doing
a little bit.
It looks like what they're doing is they're taking. It's gonna be an amalgam of. All these different, like they're going to take out of different epochs. They're going to be like, here's the guy from Vietnam. Here's the dude from the samurai period, you know, the Sengoku Jidai or whatever. Like, here's all these things. And they're going to put them together as a ragtag band of heroes that are competing in like an off-world safari or something like they did in that Adrian Brody movie.
I think this one's all on Earth, actually.
Yeah. I think that this is just a story that's through time.
Yeah, that's what it is.
And that maybe that pilot might be a descendant of all of them.
So, like, they all die?
So presumably, I mean, I don't know. I'm like that's just what my theory from the trailer, right?
That would be
and
cool.
We know that trailers can be very deceptive.
Always, man. Always.
Yeah, Wonder Woman 84.
Oh man,
God.
But yeah, I think if the Predator. Oh, sorry.
What was that?
If the Predator was the protagonist, he's a villain. He's an evil guy, but he could still be the protagonist.
Absolutely.
If he was the constant that went through the different epochs, and we get to modernity, and the modern guy is the one like that Danny Glover's him, I would like that. I would like to see the antagonists who would be the heroes of the story, get their comeuppance and how they each die.
Well, I mean, that's what I'm loving seeing. I mean, of course, everything has to be a universe now, right?
Yeah,
because of the Marvel universe. So then it's the WWE universe. I'm Stan Lee now, right?
Excelsior.
Fucking, but that means it's just like, oh, cool. He's going to be expanding the mythos, right? That's the shit I want to see.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
because, and like my problem with Predators was the fact that they didn't have the balls to make the bad guys stay bad guys, because the whole point of that story, and that movie would have been dope as fuck if they had the bad guys had stayed bad guys. The whole point was that all of those people, there wasn't a single good one among them. They were all fucking murderers.
Yeah.
What do you think about Badlands, Chris? Are you going to watch that, or are you not into that?
Badlands. Wasn't that a series?
That's the other Predator. It's coming out in November. Predator.
Oh, is that the one with the little, like, it looked like a female, but they're like, oh, it's a young Yautja or whatever?
Yeah. Are you going to watch that? That one's actually, he's a teenager, and he's on Yautja Prime, and he gets in a fight with his brother, and his dad banishes him, so he has to go and kind of prove himself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I guess there's different races of predators.
Yeah.
So, but this
and they're
one,
not
like,
speaking English, right?
Well,
they're not like speaking English. It's like, I think all like in like subtitles,
Yautja.
right?
It might be, but he got with like the guy that did some of like Avatar, those people that to make that language. So they're going to really expand the Yautja language in that movie. That's also why they CGI'd the face. That way he could move the mandibles around real quick and like fucking do a lot of shit. So that's why he did it, because he's done like a bunch of, because he did the Prey Predator had animatronic mandibles. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So he's done that, but he's like, yeah, I really want to do like an in-depth thing where it moves around a lot. And but yeah, Conan's his big influence on this movie. He said Conan the Barbarian, Dax the Destroyer, Shadow of the Colossus.
Dax the fucking Destroyer, the original Dax the fucking Destroyer.
Yeah. And also Shane, the Western Shane. So those are like the big influences on Badlands.
So
I'm like, yeah,
I noticed.
I'm gonna fuck with that movie for sure, bro.
Yeah, man.
I noticed that it did a crossover with Aliens too, because the main female protagonist is a droid from Wayland Yutani.
Yep. So 100%.
It's like,
oh shit!
And it's Dakota. Yeah, Dakota Fanning.
Yeah, and he's got a fucking sword in there, and he's got a bike. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm down with that shit. You know, as far as the design, I would have probably tweaked the design a little bit more, but it doesn't really bother me too much. I mean, and they got like a big Samoan dude playing him, so I was like,
nice.
Okay,
well, I think you kind of helped with some of my reservations, because as a kind of a purist of like originals, I looked at like the Yautja head design, and it basically looks like an engorged tick on a body, like the head and the dreadlocks look like the legs.
And
but like the one they showed in the young Yautja there, he doesn't have that. He looks almost like a human, like it looks like a hybrid or something.
Yeah, he could be a hybrid too, or just a different. I think it's just a different race. But again, I don't know. But I like what this director's doing. It's the same director too that did Prey. He's doing this, and he's doing Badlands. It's Trachtenberg, so he's all, and then you see the one from World War II flying. He doesn't even have any dreadlocks, dude.
Yeah,
and they use those for like sensory monitoring, I guess. But
oh wow,
let's look at your campaign again, man. I want to take a look-see at it.
Yeah, get all hyped up on Predator, and we're like, yeah, let's go back to INFINITALE.
Exactly.
Yeah,
good stuff though.
Got let's see here. Okay, here we go. We got 42 backers.
Mhm.
Let me refresh it real quick.
Ooh,
We got
back.
43. So
Well, thank you.
here we go,
whoever-
man. Thank you for whoever backed the campaign. Was hoping we would get one more, tonight, and you guys are awesome.
That was c'est moi.
Get to the
Yeah, no,
campaign.
I backed that shit. I got the catch up tier, the two booker, the twofer.
The twofer. Yeah, so the two book is the standard edition and the alternate art edition. I don't know if you were here, Brian, but so when I fulfilled the first campaign, I sent out a survey and I got a bunch of feedback. Like people are like, I don't like the art, or they didn't like that it didn't match certain things or whatever. So I approached the original team. We had a big powwow, a bunch of feedback, you know how artists, and I had another art team that Red Gaze and Nerium were friends with, and we're talking about it. And the Brewksy'S and what was it, husband and wife team, Eduardo and Michaela, said, yeah, we can do your book too, man. If you want us to do it. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to conduct an experiment. I want to see which of these three books will be the future of INFINITALE. So I created the standard edition with the original team that did book one. Then there's the alternate art edition. So it's the same story. It's just done with a different art team. So a different artistic vision.
Wild.
And then there's the manga edition, which was just the black and white done with the artist from the original. So the two book is actually the standard edition and the alternate art. So
that's awesome.
Yeah. so yeah, if you guys want the two versions of the same story told from different artistic visions, that's the perk. And it comes with a cool slipcase.
It's just a cool idea, I mean, I think that things like that can be very educational for people that are interested in working in this medium.
yeah. It's I just ultimately the customer is king here, and this is an unproven product. It's the second in the series that I'm planning to do 10 of these. I want to give more to customers of what they want, and I want to reduce what they don't want.
That's the goal, man, is to keep onward and upward, to keep making better and better books, and also not making it about that's one of the things I dig about you too, is that you understand it's not about your fucking ego, that it's just about making just the best possible book you possibly can make.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to sell something that nobody wants,
Yes.
Yeah, so, man. I like this ultimate bundle too down here for 150. Looks like you got 20 of them and you've already sold 3 out of that.
Actually, so there was a mailing list prior to the campaign's launch, and I've actually sold more than 3. I think I'm up in like the 10s now. Yeah, the mailing list got secret perks because when you're on the mailing list, you get a link to get a special holofoil card that nobody else can get. And there was special discounts. So I think it was like 125 or whatever for the ultimate bundle with the special secret perk.
So cool. And you guys got to come in here and back this, man. Get that, I recommend getting the featured perk right up here at the top. It's going to have all the stretch goals put into it.
Yep.
And you can't beat that. You 2-book bundle, $38, plus shipping out the door. And there's actually a limit on there, guys. It's 50. So, and they've already sold 6. So get in there and
hot.
Scoop it
snooze, you lose.
Let's see here. I got another trailer for you guys right here from a director that hasn't done a movie in a long time.
Oh.
So I wanted to get your guys' opinion on this movie right here. I think it looks pretty cool. Kind of reminded me of Running Scared with Paul Walker. I really dug that movie. And this one's called Caught Stealing.
Oh, Jane's Addiction.
What the hell happened?
Some last call. Drink them if you got them.
Let's go back to your place and you can take advantage of my poor judgment.
I depend on your poor judgment.
I want to know if I can take this seriously.
What do you need to take it seriously?
Come on, kids, get a room.
Sorry, Miss Kitty.
Oi, What the fuck are you doing, geezer? Is that the best you can do?
I've got to
Matt
fly back
Smith.
to London. I need you to take care of my cat.
I like cats.
I like dogs.
Hey.
Hey, is Russ home? Who are you? What's the big man?
Who did this to you?
La pistola. Either I get what I want or my pistol stuck from me.
These guys you messed up with, they're scary monsters.
I don't know.
What kind of bar mitzvah?
Give me the fucking answer, swat. What the fuck did you get me into?
Darling, you got to let me know.
Welcome to Narnia.
Should I stay or should I
How
go?
much is there?
Over 4 million.
Shit.
Everyone gets a cut. The Russians, the Puerto Ricans, the Hebrews.
What the fuck are you doing? Oh. So what happens to me?
You're fucked.
You run away from what you're afraid of.
Kim's
Maybe don't
video. Oh, so this is
Buckle
a
your
period
seatbelt.
piece.
Should I stay or should I go? Should I stay or should I go?
What the fuck is going on? Either we go deeper or we get out.
I don't want out.
Should I stay or should I go?
I need to know that you're a guy that can take care of his shit. Asshole!
I can handle it.
Oh, I'm down.
I don't suppose you're Jewish, are you?
Eat, skinny boy.
You know you're gonna upset her. I like you, Hank.
That's a monster ball. Aronofsky, man. Wow.
I haven't seen him in forever, dude. And Vincent
This looks like
D'Onofrio and Liev Schreiber playing the rabbis, you know?
Dude,
Man.
this looks like a Guy Ritchie film.
It
did,
does.
yeah.
It does. And it's obviously a period piece because they like I don't like when I saw Kim's video, that got a fucking pop out of me because I don't know if you guys know about Kim's video, but that's where when you were living in New York City in the 90s, you got to see all the fucking fly movies that you couldn't find anywhere else. Because Mr. Kim, the guy who ran the Kim's video chain, there were 3 of them. Two on there was like one on the Lower East, 2 on the Lower East Side. One on the Lower East Side, 1 on the East Village, and 1 in the like in the West Village. And they would just fucking like. If you wanted to see fucking Lucio Fulci movies, if you wanted to see like really rare Dario Argento, any of the cool fly Hong Kong shit that wasn't available, you went there and you rented a videotape that was like a rip of like a Japanese laser disc.
Oh, wow.
With the hard-coded subtitles. And you could find like it's such a legendary collection of movies that there's a documentary about the hunt to find that collection.
Oh,
because
wow.
that collection of VHS tapes was like fundamental in like the development of like so many like thousands of people who went on to become artists and writers and shit like
Probably
that.
Aronofsky, you know. For me, it looks like he's having
yeah.
For me, it looks like he's having like more fun with this movie too, a little bit. Like he's having a little more comedic beats, right? And I like the cars. The cars all look. Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean that's me. I don't like. Here's the thing. I generally don't like comedies.
Yeah.
If I want to laugh, I want to watch like an Abdullah the Butcher versus Bruiser Brody match or something like that, right? Or Abdullah Butcher versus.
You got hepatitis. Woo!
See, motherfucker. Yeah, man. And sticking Kevin Sullivan in the head with a fork, like to me, right? Or a Ric Flair promo, or a Dusty Rhodes promo. Like if I want to laugh, like that's where I go. I go fucking wrestling.
That's little peppers here and there, you know, like the little bits. I like the little bits.
I
like
know.
The
problem is with me.
Well, that was why
unintentional humor too.
Well, that's why I thought it was like kind of how reminiscent of a Guy Ritchie movie is because it's incredibly serious, but at the same time you have these like little brief moments of levity, like you like tags. Yeah.
Yeah, no, like something like Snatch has its grim moments for sure.
Yeah.
I like Snatch. I think that's his best film for me, Guy Ritchie. I was about to start watching Mobland with Tom Hardy. I haven't started that yet. That one, and he's got another movie too. I think Havoc on Netflix. Like I watched the first 10 minutes of it. It was trash because it was like a CGI. It was a CGI chase scene with cop cars on the freeway. All CGI.
I watched it.
I'm like, what the fuck? But I've been told, dude, get past that part. Get past that part. The movie picks up. From the director of The Raid, it gets better. It gets brutal. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm gonna watch it. And then Mobland, it's got Pierce Brosnan, Helen Mirren. You know what I mean? I'll check it out. And then, but yeah, one thing I did like about this movie, though, I like how dirty and fucked up all the cars pretty much looked.
Yeah,
that's one. You know, there's something about that. You know.
I mean, that's the thing about period pieces now, is that with CGI and shit, that shit's getting a lot easier to do on a budget. And what's great is that it's CGI the way that CGI should be used, which is to say you don't know that it's CGI, you don't notice it.
Yeah. Like Ugly Betty was actually the most CGI'd TV series, and people are like, there was CGI in there? The whole thing was there was all shot on a green screen.
Oh, that's crazy.
No shit.
That's wild. Yeah,
it doesn't call attention to itself. As for Aronofsky, I still haven't seen Black Swan. I remember when Pi came out.
Black Swan was all right. It was so for me, The Wrestler is his best movie.
Oh my god,
by far. You know? And that had like little. It had this little like little raw like comedic bits, like when he's you want your potato salad, I get your potato salad. You know? Those types of beats, you know what I mean? And I get that. I've worked in the food industry and shit like that. But that movie,
deli slicer scene, man, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's probably his. I mean, if you look at all of his movies, probably and it's maybe his best movie for Mickey too. And Mickey's got a lot of good ones. I mean, Sin City, Angel Heart, you know.
It's so heartbreaking though. The Wrestler, like the way that it ends. You're like, is he gonna die? Like when he did the elbow at the end, it's like, was that his last move?
Yes.
Like
yes. He, because I mean, there's that poignant scene that he has with a very fucking smoking hot Marissa Tomei.
Yes.
Oh my god. Right? Like pushing fucking 40 something in that, and just banging fucking body, right? and always. One of those actors that always gives a very sincere performance, right? And she makes a romantic overture to him, like, "Hey, maybe you and me," and he's just like, "I don't belong out there. I belong in there." Yeah. I mean, basically, it doesn't have an original bone in its body because it's basically Rod Serling's Requiem for a Heavyweight.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, that's a good descriptor.
Which was a TV movie and then was turned into a motion picture with Anthony Quinn, I think. But the thing is, some of those very basic elemental stories like that are just great to retell, right? Where it's just like it's not about originality. It's all about it's all in the retelling. And I just think The Wrestler is just like a brilliant retelling of Requiem for a Heavyweight. Yeah, for sure.
Cinema verite, yeah.
I think I'm just one of those people that thinks originality is overrated.
Well,
right?
According to Joseph Campbell, it doesn't exist.
Well, big fan of Joseph Campbell, big fan of Carl Jung, especially. Jung is a guy I recommend very, very, very highly to my fellow comic writers. And then there's this book. I know I'm just like completely getting off topic here. I'm going on a tangent.
The Seven Basic Plots.
The Seven Basic Plots by Christopher Booker. That's a
Booker.
It's a Jungian. It's a Jungian exploration of storytelling. Yeah, and he's just like goes down the 7 basic plots, and then of course those all have their reverse, right? It's like you take those plots and flip them on their head, and then that becomes like
14.
Another thing. Only thing I'd recommend about this book, I recommend it highly, but you only need to read the first half. The second half basically just is like a complete repeat of like the first half.
Regurgitating.
Yeah. But I mean, really useful book. But I'm a big Carl Jung freak, so I just think he was right about a lot of shit. And he's the one who came up with the idea of archetypes, right? And being comic book guys, we know all about archetypes, right? The Batman archetype, the Superman archetype, and so on and so forth.
And the Shadow Man, don't forget that one.
And well, I mean, yeah, that's I mean, Batman was basically a ripoff of the Shadow.
Well, yeah, yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Even with the guns, although then eventually it became his own thing. That's the thing that's interesting too, was how Superman. It's like when I get into the whole like, does Batman kill argument with my boy Sim, right? We're always on opposite ends of that one. And the example I give is he's just like, well, Batman was like killing people. He had guns. I'm like, yeah, but here's the question: can Superman fly? And the answer, if you're going by the original version of the character, is no.
He can only leap tall buildings.
Tall buildings in a single bound.
Yep. Yeah,
he could run like the Flash. He could run faster than a speeding locomotive, right? But these things evolve until they get to their. But I mean, that's mythology. You were mentioning Joseph Campbell. See, now I can't shut the fuck up about this.
For me, it's like Batman's he's crazier than the fucking people at Arkham. He belongs in Arkham.
No, I disagree.
He is my favorite character, but he's a fucking nut. For him to go out there and let these serial killers go run wild and fucking murder people.
No, dude. He's more like Sherlock Holmes. He's very sane. He's very sane. He's just emotionally damaged. Emotionally damaged.
Nuts.
Yeah, my thing is,
I disagree, but yeah, that's another debate too. Is he playing with the full deck?
I know Alan Moore would get pissed off at me for liking his characters the wrong way, but
everybody loves Rorschach.
Yeah, that's why I like Rorschach. Is his rigidity, is his non-compromise to basically here's the line: if you cross it, you are a corpse, and I like that. Because it puts it's
morally black and white.
Well, civilization is a privilege. Civilization is a privilege. It's a group of people who've all agreed upon something. Mm-hmm. It's why you don't see cars driving over the yellow line and throwing head on into you.
Yes.
You've agreed to that. There's nothing enforcing that. There's no physical barrier there.
Yes.
And when you have people like Rorschach who are like, oh, you want to go and drive into these people? Well, guess what? There's consequence. Action meet consequence. And now you're a corpse. And it sounds harsh. It sounds harsh, but it's like, to me, the other extreme is where you do get the Batman where he's like, I cannot kill because then I would be just like them. And it's like, dude, you are just as guilty of murdering everybody that the Joker murders after he escapes Arkham.
No, he's
not killing him.
He's worse.
He knows he's like Superman. He knows if he crosses that line, then he becomes dangerous. Then somebody needs to stop him.
He is dangerous. He has crossed the line. By letting well,
of course. I mean, it's like 75 years of fucking comics. Of course, everything conceivable. He's gotten pegged by Catwoman at this point, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's why
to address real quick, Cosmonaut. That's funny as shit that you think that's a Rotor poster. Rotor is like the poster for Rotor, which is like a low budget direct to VHS movie. It was always in the fucking mom and pop video stores back in the day. The poster was a ripoff of the Mad Max poster. But that's funny. You thought it was a Rotor poster at first. You thought it was the ripoff of the actual poster.
Damn. Well, yeah. Well, to get back to like the killing stuff, I think that's why I felt so satisfying when I read, and I know people dislike the Injustice series, but it was so damn satisfying watching Superman put his fist through to the Joker.
Yes.
I'm like, you finally got the consequence for your actions.
Yes. Because you can do that in an Elseworlds, right?
Yep.
That's the thing about like when I saw Batman versus Superman, I was like, that's an abortion. Time to hit the reboot button. Fast and hard. Boom, 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 boom. Right? And then I watched like the director's cut, and then I was like, oh, wait, this is about a fallen Batman. This isn't about like the regular. This is Batman that's a cease to give a fuck, right? And and then by the end of the story, gets his code back, gets his morals back,
his mojo.
Right. But you know, I think that's the thing. It's just like these characters have been used so much; they're so fucking played out, but there's also so much to explore, right? And it's because of their simplicity. It's because these characters are so incredibly simple. You can just reinvent them over and over. And over again.
Yeah,
it'll never stop. It'll never stop.
Over and over.
You know, I really believe that some of these characters, like Spider-Man, Superman, Batman, that these are characters that, you know, people are still going to be talking about in like 500 or 1,000 years. The way that we talk about
it's our folklore.
Yeah, absolutely.
I got some comic news for you guys. You might dig this, you might not. Frank Castle's back. Frank Castle returns as the Punisher in the new Red Band Marvel comic series launching September. The new series will be written by Benjamin Percy, and Julius Ota brings back the infamous Punisher skull logo. Marvel's Red Band polybag format protects the comic book, and
I've got some
it's also
of
protecting
those.
it from young readers. Graphic violence. The Punisher symbols controversial real-world uses of dress, with Marvel reclaiming the character. Frank Castle is back. Okay, creating a new series launching September 10th, and the new comic book series will be polybag. Yada yada yada. This is the art. The artist is good too. I checked him out on Instagram.
Yeah, he is.
Let's see here.
Don't trust it. Don't trust it. Can't trust it.
That's just the cover artist. So
yeah, I don't trust this shit for a
I don't know. Let's see.
That's the bait.
Frank is back.
That's the fucking bait.
And Reload. Tree Believers. Frank back with no memories, a full clip, and a thirst for vengeance. His violent search for answers could only be chronicled in Red Band series. Okay, bullets will fly, blood will flow, yada yada, and the citizens and criminals in New York City alike will fear the name of the Punisher. From the supervillain Helverine creative team. Okay, yada yada yada. They're not talking about it at all.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Fuck this shit.
Oh man, dude, that's so sad. Because dude, that's Frank.
Yeah, they're not talking about anything. I am definitely gonna buy it. Welcome back, Frank. You like that? Boom, boom, boom. I think that it's bait, like Brian's saying.
It is. Because here's the thing. Woke is over. So we don't have to worry about this shit anymore. The thing is, the people at Marvel are still the same people.
Yeah.
And they haven't changed. And they're just gonna double down. And I read their Red Band Werewolf by Night book. I gave that a chance, right? And it's very clear that they just throw in some gore every issue, throw in some gore so that we can put it like in this little plastic bag. But the shit's still woke as fuck.
Oh,
and woke as
really?
fuck.
That sucks.
And so that's bait.
Damn, that sucks.
And you know, like if you, Matt, if you want to buy it and review it, that's cool because you can turn that into
I'm gonna buy it. Yeah.
Something, a review on your channel, right? But
of course. But I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be. It's gonna be
shit's
bait.
radioactive, son.
Dude, that's
I don't know how they
don't trust those.
I don't know how they unfucked the last thing that they did to him. I don't know how they.
They're not going to
fuck their way out of it.
They're not going.
No, they're just gonna wipe it clean.
Or he's gonna wake up. Like for me, I would have him wake up. All right, get him off the book because that happened last time. Like he got killed, and Garth Ennis came on, and he was like, it starts with him like, oh, I got better.
I got better.
Frankencastle, which I loved, by the way.
I fucking love Frankencastle.
He gets chopped up into pieces, and then he gets like the bloodstone, and restores him so that he's like back like in his like late 30s or something like that, in like perfect immaculate condition, right? So it's comic. That's the thing you have to understand. You're talking about comic books here. It's okay for comics to be a little fucking goofy, right? And it's like the 500th billionth fucking story. You can do some wacky shit. What we don't like seeing is these characters subverted in a way that they're basically, I don't know. Like I turned off that Lone Ranger movie when he was the character was literally being drugged through shit.
Yeah,
I was like, click. Do you know what I'm saying? And that's what they do to these characters, and they know it drives us crazy, and they love it.
But like, this is what has ruined me as a as a fan, is that I'm like a beaten dog now. Like where I have that Pavlovian response of, oh man, what are they gonna do? How are they gonna screw this up? Like, I want to go back to the blissful ignorance I had where it was like when they announced, like, I still want to love this Frank Castle. I want it. I want it to be great, but I agree with you.
Right. I'm not being, and here's the thing. It's like, I don't want to be that guy that's just like rooting for shit to fail or rooting for people to fail, because I'm not that fucking guy. And I don't want to be that guy. But like I said, I'm just like X-Men 97, was it?
Yeah.
I refuse to touch that shit. People are like, oh no, it's awesome. You got to check it out. I'm like, no, I've been waiting until all the episodes come out, because you tell me how awesome that is. That's the bait.
Yeah.
And so what I do is I wait until the series is over, and then if people are still telling me that it's fly, then I'll go check it out. Right? But I'm not fucking walking into that minefield ever again.
Have you read
other people who are braver than I venture into those fucking waters?
Have you read Benjamin Percy's books before? Are you familiar with his work? I'm not either. I know he's friends with Scott Snyder, and Scott Snyder's pretty, he's pretty opinionated.
Oh, I love Scott Snyder.
But some of his shit's hit, he kind of, I don't know, here and there. He does little jabs in his writing here and there. He throws little leftist shit in there.
Well, remember, Scott Snyder doesn't work he left Marvel and DC because he was next on the hit list.
Yeah.
Remember, that got leaked. Yeah. On Bleeding Fool, I think it was Chris Braley, I think, who broke that story. Our boy Chris Braley,
chopping
right,
block.
where it was just like Scott Snyder found out that story came out on a Thursday, and on Monday he fucking handed in his resignation at Marvel and was like, "See ya," because he knew that the Whisper Network, it had been leaked that they were like, "Yeah, let's get him next."
And he, his kids, like his whole inspiration for Absolute Batman, he went to his son, his like 12-year-old kid. He's like, "Son, if you could pick, like, have Batman, what would you want him to do? Like, what's cool to you?" He's like, "Oh, maybe if he wasn't rich and he kind of maybe made his money by himself and da-da-da." So that's where he kind of got the inspiration to do that. And then he's like, so a lot of it's inverted, but it's just fucking stupid fun. Like, that's the way I look at the.
That's fine. Comics can be stupid fun.
Yeah,
remember when there were like a billion? I mean, like Batman had like a billion books out all at once.
Yeah.
Right? So it's just like, okay, like you might be more into the regular Batman series. I'm a little more into Detective Comics, right? There's the Brave and the Bold.
I'm a simp, dude. I like all the like I said, I told him earlier, I like the grounded Batman. I like Batman that kills. I like Batman that doesn't kill. I like fantasy Batman with sci-fi, and fight. I like all the different iterations. They're all fun, different things. He like in the new one, there's like this little mutant baby for the Black Mask, and he like he punts it off a boat. It's fucking hilarious. Yeah, it's crazy. It's monsters. It's hilarious.
He's letting his 12-year-old son write this fucking shit.
No, it was just like kind of.
That would be kind of funny.
No, it's funny, but the Black Mask is crazy. He's like this. You have to read it. But the Joker in there, it's an inverted. The Joker is the multi-billionaire. He's part of the 1%. And he's like,
right, they traded places.
Yeah, and there's a Joker cave and all that. They haven't got to that yet, but they are going to get to that. He says that there is that. And the Joker doesn't laugh. The only time he laughs is when he meets Batman. That's the only time he actually smiles. But they call him the Joker for another reason. But he's sitting on like a throne, like in his $1 billion fucking mansion or whatever, and they're all like baby fetuses, and he's just like kind of sitting in there, and they're kind of feeding him. They're going into his veins. You know what I mean?
Oh, geez.
So he's
stem cells.
Yeah, so he's and everyone's like, "Oh, he's talking shit on Trump. He's talking shit on Elon." I'm like, no, he's kind of, he's obviously doesn't like Trump, but I think it's more he's talking about the 1% and all the fucking the baby pyramids. You know what I mean? Like Planned Parenthood, and they're taking all the stem cells and they're
Google Chrome.
And don't forget,
that's more what he's talking about. Because Snyder, he's kind of right on the line. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm like. Benjamin Percy, he's writing Punisher. Maybe it'd be good. I did my deep dive on the artist. The artist looks good. He does really good.
Yeah, artist looks great.
That's his digital shit. And some of the Iron Man stuff he was doing, the last Iron Man book, he has all these fucking gear. Like he had like it was like kind of steampunky and fantastical a little bit. He has a big sword,
Nice.
And it looked cool. Like it looked like a cool iteration of Iron Man. I was like, that's dope. And I wanted to see what his traditional work looks like. I look at people's digital work, but I always want to see what their Copic little fucking what they're doing on Instagram. Like what are they doing with freehand? What are they doing traditional? So all his traditional work looks great. So I'm optimistic about the Punisher, but I don't know how they're gonna unfuck him out of that situation because Jason Aaron fucked him hard, dude, bro. harder than any writer's ever fucked a character I've ever seen.
Just tabula rasa it. Like seriously, just be like, nope, that shit didn't exist. Like
yeah, like I woke up. Well, that was a horrible dream. I was a ninja. My fucking wife came back from the dead. Like it sounds like a dirty.
Got cucked out.
Like a nightmare. Sounds like a nightmare, right? To me, it sounds like a nightmare, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I had it. That's how I would step in. Like I got this. Give me 2 pages, bro. No problem, bro. Let me get in there. Yeah, it was a nightmare. You know, I was a ninja. You know what I mean? My wife came back from the dead. She said she was alive. She went to divorce. She never wanted to be with me, regardless. She wants me to go to hell.
And she cucked him out too. And she cucked him out. She did everything but peg him.
Yep, and she took his money away. And he's like, "Well, this is the money I made from all the fucking dirty drug dealers I killed. You know, like give me that money. I'm gonna go. You know." She fucking hard. He cucked Thor too with Jane Foster. Like, oh, she's got cancer, so he made her Thor, and like, I'm like, fuck that. Thor's not. Thor's a god. It's not. It's a job title too. It's not a fucking. It's a god, not a job title. You know.
Yeah, I hate when they do that.
That pissed me off.
When he was doing Conan the Barbarian, right? When I found Marvel got the license for Conan again, I was just like, what? Like, are you guys fucking stupid?
Yeah, they
idiots. You're like literal idiots.
And gotta burn your hand twice.
Yeah.
Every month, Jason Aaron was apologizing for something. Every fucking issue, he had to apologize. That guy, it's just, and the thing is, it breaks my heart because like his indie shit that he did, Scalped.
He's got some.
I think it's fucking brilliant.
Well, and I would like to add,
the guy's clearly spineless.
I would like to add though, he did one good, really, really good. He had one in the can for the new Conan, the Savage Sword. He did a long fucking double story that was continued into 2 issues of Savage Sword. I was like, all right,
he's a talented writer.
I was like, all right, motherfucker, you did a pretty solid Conan story. Why the fuck didn't you bust this shit out when you were at Marvel? But you waited until Zub came in there and fucking saved the Howardian ship. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, okay,
well, there it is.
I'll allow it, homie. Like it was good.
Yeah,
though.
Yeah.
Corporate pressure.
Maybe.
Yeah.
It's right.
It's just, man, I don't know if I could kiss that much fucking ass.
That's why we're indies.
A lot of flossing, bro.
My asshole is an exit on the freeway of life.
Nose.
You know what I'm saying?
That poop off. No. Fuck that shit. I'm done.
Oh, it's like, I'm sorry. I don't fucking no.
So as far as you like Tolkien, right? Who are some of your favorite writers, Chris? I gotta know, like fantasy.
So what? Like, I guess it's kind of a pathetic origin story, but I was a dumb, fat, dyslexic kid growing up. I owe my literacy to Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh wow!
I had no idea. Like, I didn't read. I had no interest in comics. Nothing, because I was just dumb. And
no, you were dyslexic.
Yeah,
but except there wasn't any dyslexia back then. You were just considered.
I was just the dumb kid. So I was about 12 years old, and when I went to the Pelham Public Library, there was an absolutely gorgeous librarian there. Like, dude, seriously, like, kid with a crush. Like, this chick was gorgeous. Like, and I'm not even being hyperbolic here. I was like Dreamweaver level. And she hands me, for a Christmas present, she hands me Dragons of Autumn Twilight. And that was a beefy book for a kid that never read. And she's like, here you go. And I'm like, oh, thanks. She's like, oh, I noticed you don't really like it. I thought you like fantasy. I'm like, yeah, I love it. But, I don't know. She's like, take your time. Just you don't have to read it this week, next week. I'm like, this month, So she's like, just, every time I meet you, I just, we talk about it or whatever. So started talking about it. And then it was like, so what do you think of Raceland? What do you think of Tanis? And all that. And then eventually I finished the entire book, and she's like, you ready for more? I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, this is a 6-book series. I'm like, really? Bam. Winter Night, Spring Dawning. Then I got the Legend series, Time, War, and Test of the Twins. So all of Margaret Weiss and Tracy Hickman's books, I read through that. Richard A. Knack, when he did The Legend of Huma. Dragonlance was my foray into literacy. So I read all of that. And then, then I started reading Moorcock's Elric of Melniboné.
Yeah, of course.
Wow. Like, wow. Like the anti-Conan. Yeah, it was like, I was kind of disillusioned when Warcraft came out and I saw Elric of Melniboné with Mornbringer, just sitting there. And I'm like, or is Mornblade, and I'm like, oh wait, that's the Lich King? No, that's Elric.
Yeah.
I know Razor Fist calls it out with Witcher, but
the new French Elric comics, just to interject very quickly, are fucking amazing. If you haven't,
yes.
I got those.
I'm sorry. Please continue.
Yeah. So that, and then I know this is kind of lame, but you remember the Sword of Shannara series?
Of course. The Brothers of the Brand. Yeah.
So I read through that, the post-apocalypse, like elves in the distant, and I was like, okay, this is cool. Obviously I read the classics, read through Tolkien's works. I read through most of the Narnia books. I think the one that I kind of failed to finish was the Voyage of the Dawn Treader. There, I think they made the movie of that one, but I went into the the whole concept of Narnia, the whole like, oh, okay, it's more than just the the whole Aslan as Jesus and all that stuff. Like that was cool. And then this is where things got really weird. I stopped reading fiction because I made this is my teenage years, and again, dyslexic, so very slow at reading.
Right.
I ended up plumbing the depths of the library for the Kalevala. I read through the Finnish folklore of Väinämöinen and his Cantil stories about the Finnish origins. Then I read the Mabinogi there with Gwythian, and the whole War of the Trees, the Cad Gatho. And I was like, oh, okay. And then
so you were going back to the source.
Yeah.
Which is what fans do, right? It's like you love the Ramones, like, well, who was inspired by the Ramones? The Stooges, and so right, and you can do that with anything. But that's so man. God bless that
librarian there.
That librarian.
Thank you, Donna.
Seriously.
Yeah.
That's
yeah, I know. I'll be a bit Richie Valens.
It's beautiful, man.
But it so I read all the all that stuff. I started reading up on like herbalism. I even when I was researching the magic systems for my games, I looked up Jewish mysticism, Kabbalism, or Kabbalism. I looked up what is it, the Hermetic teachings. So I learned all that crap.
And all that shit.
I looked into Zoroastrianism, looked up all the different religions. Yeah. In fact, and one of my favorites was actually Gnosticism. That is
my favorite. Yeah.
And then I went through, the Snorri Sturluson's Volsung saga there, the whole Vikings moving to Iceland and all that stuff. And I went over to the Asian side and started reading that stuff. So yeah, it was kind of like a weird, like, I don't know how when you say like, oh, favorite writers or whatever from a fictional perspective, because for me, I got into literature from the D&D books, basically, like Margaret Weiss and Tracy Hickman doing the Forgotten Realm stuff. It was like the Dark Well of Moonshay or whatever.
Oh yeah.
And then
like Drizzt, man. Drizzt is awesome.
Yeah, Drizzt or who was that?
That was later,
yeah. So I started reading that, but then as far as like comics went, like, so my French class in middle school, they had all the Tintin books and the Asterix and Obelisks and the Schtroumpfs.
Awesome.
So I read like the kids books of that, and then we had Metal Hurlant, which was
Metal Hurlant.
Yeah, Metal Hurlant. So that was what got me into the comics too, because you show like a 12-year-old, 13-year-old kid boobs in like beautifully airbrushed, like Soriyama style, like Fassbender and Larson. Like, I'm all over that. Like Peter Shue, who made like the Elf Warrior series and all that stuff. Yeah, that's what got me into that. I loved that. I loved the I think it was it DC that did the Dragonlance comics? I can't remember. I read some of those.
Oh, I never read the comics. I remember the novels, but not the comics.
And then when Wendy and Richard Pini hit me hard, man, with the ElfQuest books.
Oh, wow.
I bought every single as a kid that wasn't exactly rich. I remember shelling out all the money I could to get those gargantuan compilation tomes, like those trade paperbacks. I had to read them out of order because the shop that I went to or that I had access to had the third one and the fourth one, but not the first and the second. So I had to read them out of order, and I'm like, who the hell are these? Oh, that's where this character, And right. That's what got me into comics, man. Like sure, I got into Batman and the DC stuff. And dude, I hate it, but like I love Alan Moore's stuff, and I hate the guy, but I love his work. So yeah, The Watchmen, like and the one that really hit me hard, the art I thought sucked ass, but the story was so goddamn good, was The Crow by James O'Barr.
Okay.
Yep.
I was just about to go there, like as far as indie stuff. Did you
Yeah.
ever read Poison Elves?
Yes.
I did not. I've seen it. I've seen it. I haven't read it.
Yeah,
You get a kick out of it.
I haven't been able to read it yet either. They had the Kickstarter up. They're putting out like big like omnibuses, and each book is like each standard like entry tier on Kickstarter is $200, I think, or $100.
Oh,
unless you get the digital, they actually send you a digital flash. But I want to get it, and that was the creator Drew Hayes passed away. God bless him. But it just looked like a really cool series to read. You know what I mean? Love the Crow's O'Barr's a big influence on me too. Just and the fact that his go get it and like keep pushing, like the whole like evolution in his work, it gets better throughout the book. I got
there's soul in there. Like he bore his soul in his book, which is you don't get that from the corporate books,
Right. It makes up for all of its shortcomings, right? Because it's very amateurish.
Yep.
And yet it just has the strength of will.
Yep.
Right.
I bought that book like 3 times. So yeah, clearly there's something in there that was great. Like
without a doubt. Yeah. It's it's like the way I feel about something like I don't know, Last House on the Left. Right? Wes Craven's first movie, where I'm just like, this movie he said they were stoned the whole time they were making it, and I can point out flaw after flaw after flaw and say this is kind of amateurish or blah 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 blah, but it leaves me feeling gutted at the end every time I fucking see it. And like The Crow is like that too. So clearly there's a talent there, and they're invested with real power. That's what art's all about.
I got a little something to show you guys. I got some elves in my book. The main character, the main villain. Let's say he's kind of elvish, but he's not an elf. But he has elves. Let me show you.
What the hell are you talking about, son?
This guy.
Oh, I can. There you go. Yeah.
Nice. He's a black metal elf, but it's kind of hard to.
He's got riblets too, and an 8-pack.
He's got a weird anatomical system.
Worked out of his gourd. I love it.
Oh, that's great.
I've been doing live streams on this with this character, and his name's Dockel, but he's kind of an important character. I thought Chris might get a kick out of that.
Is Dockel from the Scandinavian word Dokelfar, meaning dark elf?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Damn.
Oh, sehr gut.
I knew you would pick that up.
Hell yeah. Darkness.
Dockel 4.
Have either of you guys read The Ring of the Nibelungs? Like a lot of people sleep on that.
No, I haven't read it.
Here's something that like this is gonna sound really, really dumb, or this could sound like the coolest thing ever. But like, so I'm a fan of Diana Damrau. I don't know if she's an opera singer. I don't know if you guys have ever just look up Diana Damrau, Queen of the Night or like the Magic Flute or whatever. This woman is an insanely talented opera singer, and some of the best fantasy lore is found in like the Ring of the Nibelung, which is an opera. You get like the Wagner and stuff, and like, why don't we do that shit with metal? Okay, tell the same damn stories, but throw in the guitars and the throw in
that's one of the most metal stories ever. When they're all fucking trapped, in that fucking in that hall, and they set fire to it, and they're just like, damn, it's fucking hot in here. How are we gonna stand it? I don't know. Let's drink this blood that we're literally ankle deep in.
Yeah, that was when Sigurd opened up the dragon and
fucking metal.
It's crazy metal. One band I think that would kind of that's like the most kind of lyrically it doesn't go there, but musically it does. Check out Winter Sun. Check out Winter Sun by Winter Sun.
Nice,
Chris. I guarantee they're from Finland.
Nice.
What subgenre?
they're winter metal.
Winter metal. Interesting.
Check out that album. It's the self-titled. It came out like a long time ago. He just put out the he actually was on Indiegogo. Yadi Manapana, I think that's his name. Yeah, man. The last album he put out. I haven't listened to it yet, but Winter Sun. I don't know if you've ever heard of a band called Insafirum.
Yes.
He was in that band for a long time. He left Insafirum and started Winter Sun, but that's one of the best metal albums of all time. But when you hear it, you're like, oh, you can just see the fucking epic battles, and it's really so cool. You'll probably love it. It's overwhelming though, dude. It's musically, sonically overwhelming when you first hear it. Like, oh my god! Especially check it. Like once you get to the first song is called Beyond the Darkened Sun, and the second song is called Winter Madness. Which you just listen to Winter Madness, but dude, so fucking good.
That sounds great.
Yeah, I wish that we would bring more of our past into our present, like in terms of keeping people to remember the stuff that came before us, because we're forgetting it. And as each generation passes, if we don't, make it palpable or enjoyable to the current generations, and they're like, oh, I'm not going to pay attention to that. That's crap. Like the Canterbury Tales, that's boring as fuck. It's like, have you read the Canterbury Tales? They're pretty badass, dude.
Dude, like raw nasty, the Wife of Bath's Tale.
Yeah. The
Jesus, man. Like super fucking raunchy.
Yeah. Well, they tried to do that with the Knight's Tale there with Heath Ledger back in the day. They added in but it's like, why aren't we doing that with like ancient mythology? Like you remember when Led Zeppelin was talking about Gollum is the evil one? Okay, or dude, Metallica even, they're talking like of Wolf and Men, and they were talking about Call of Cthulhu. Hell yeah. Like make that shit cool.
There is one. I mean, you probably know who Amon Amarth is, right?
Amon Amarth?
Yeah, they cover all like Viking and Viking and Norse mythology.
Oh yeah,
Viking metal.
Yeah, they're on YouTube. Yeah.
They got some he's got some good lyrics. He takes, he'll take famous battles, and he'll just take famous, just folklore, out of the sagas, from Snorri,
Yeah.
Snorri
My mother told me someday I will.
Such a good band too. Like they're so good to see live, They bring on a good show. He pulls out Thor's hammer and starts kicking Loki in the chest on stage, and he'll fight Jormungandr up on this. He's fighting him, the World Serpent.
Hell yeah!
John Michael Thor would just twist all of them up into fucking pretzels.
well, it's like it just sucks that it's like I feel like we're on the cusp of the last generation that remembers.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like and then on like a slight derailment, it's hard just getting people to read comics. Everyone thinks that they're for fucking kids. You know what I mean? It's like, no, they're not, man. And like it's. I feel like it's kind of our job as comic book readers to like get people into reading comic books. And no, it's not just for kids. It's for adults. And it started out as adults in the pulp form.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's in France, Japan. It's really accepted over there. Everybody reads comics over there. Like most of those two countries. And over here too, again, it started here. Adults used to read it, and it's not silly. You're fucking tripping. I actually take it. I take it kind of like like personal a little bit, because it's like I know from what you said that we're like the last generation, and it's like if we don't push it, the industry is going to completely fail, because it's not gonna survive other than word of mouth. That's what's going to make the industry survive. It's word of mouth, dude. Invincible and an absolute Batman, and it's not gonna save the industry. I mean, it'll sell a couple books, but the LCSs with Diamond collapse,
Yeah. Well, here's some weird numbers, and they're anecdotal in the sense that I didn't draw from a gargantuan pool. But when I took my surveys of my first book, I looked at what the demographics were. And oddly enough, I had more backers from Europe than I did from America, which is awesome. But at the same time, it sucks as a American business shipping. But it showed that like there is a desire for that product in Europe. The other thing was, I had a very polarizing age gap. So
really,
people in their late 40s to early 60s backed this book in high quantities, and people in their like low 20s but nobody in like basically the older Zoomers and the the Gen Xers or the I guess young boomers or whatever, but the millennials, the millennials just seem to have given it a pass.
That's crazy.
Oh yeah, they could care less.
And I got the same, like the reason why I bring it up is because I got the same test results when I went to the Granite State Comic-Con back in September. I brought these books. I had the manga edition and the alternate art edition for sale. And I found, I know it's like totally like profiling people, but I found an equal number of men and women in their late 40s or 50s. And I'm surmising because I wasn't rude and asked them, but they had white hair. So, bought the alternate art edition and bought the first editions of the color for book one. They bought the colors, but younger people who were not white liked the manga one, and they were the ones that bought a higher number. So it's this weird disconnect where I'm seeing I'm attracting to two different markets, and I appreciate both markets, but the younger, like the guys in their like late 20s or early 30s want nothing to do with this. Like at all.
Yeah, I know. You know what I keep saying?
They're all weaved up
to Matt.
A lot of them are.
What I'm always saying to Matt and to other people that are in our space is that there's going to be like those kids that are reading manga. They're never going to read American comics.
Nope.
They don't want it. They have zero interest, right?
Nope.
Now in Europe, you have a history of high fantasy. Right, and mythology and that sort of a thing. That's why a movie like Legend, when it came out, was this 2-hour epic that was a box office explosion in countries like Germany and Italy and Spain. But then it came over here and they cut it down to 90 minutes and like nobody gave a shit. Right, because we don't have that tradition of little Heinzelmenschen and fairies and elves and goblins and all that shit. But I do think that there is going to be a small group of those kids that are reading manga that are going to fall in love with the medium, and they're going to get curious, and they're going to be like, so the same way that when I was a kid wondering, wow, I wonder what Japanese comics are like.
Yeah. That's how I am. Jeez. I like it all.
When I got heavy metal, I was just like, "Oh, damn! This is what fucking French comics are about."
Yeah,
okay.
Den.
Right?
Den was the first one that I got, and I was like, "Holy crap!"
Corbin.
And then Corbin, and then Druna. Oh my god,
Drune, or whatever his name is. Yeah. My French is terrible. Like I can't pronounce like French names to save my life.
Yeah, my fault.
The shelves with good stuff. The more movies and video games fail, the more the good stuff will rise.
Yeah, man.
And it's more easily accessible now than it's ever been before.
Yeah.
If you go on free streaming, I mean, it's like whenever we do, whenever I do my movie streams, I try to pick something that people would normally sleep on, right? And I loved like when I find out that like friends of mine, it's like, you've never seen Death Race 2000?
Oh, David Carradine.
Right? It's just it's kind of like when my millennial friends. It's like, you've never heard the Humpty Dance. You don't even know what the fuck the Humpty Dance is. Like that ain't right. We're gonna fucking rectify that shit. Right? You've never seen Roadhouse. We're gonna rectify that shit. Right?
Nothing but trouble.
Yeah. I mean, we've all got those things, right? That and. So I think of like how, as like a horror fan, I had to like go out of my way to get my hands on shit that now is streaming on 4K.
Yeah. We used to have to hunt for it, and now it's right at our fingertips.
Right. Yeah. So there's always going to be people that are going to be like, "What the hell is this? Let me check this out. Damn, that was fucking awesome. I want more. Where can I get more?"
That's how I am.
Right.
Dude.
There's always going to be those people.
Looking for the old
more
stuff.
Optimistic.
Yeah, dude, that was Suncoast Plaza Suncoast Video. Back in the mid '90s, one of my buddies got like $100 for his birthday, and we went out and I bought the VHS of Ninja Scroll because like Suncoast had like the Japanimation. It wasn't even called animation.
Yeah, Japanimation back then. Yeah,
and he was like, for $100, dude, I could get this weird ass like 7 VHS tape collection called The Record of Lodos War. It's got fantasy. We should totally do it. So I pitched in a little bit, and we ended up getting them. We never we converted them all to like those old Kodak VHS tapes and watched them off the Kodak one because we didn't want to ruin these tapes. And yeah, it was like, dude, like it was one of those things where it's like, oh, he's gonna play disc or he's gonna play tape 2 tonight. All right, you stop what you're doing. You know, we're going over there and we're watching it, and it was an event. Yeah.
When it was just a trickle, when it was just anime, it was just a little fucking
I remember
trickle.
that. I remember at Best Buy even, it was like a tiny little section. After a while, it got bigger and bigger and bigger. And then now there's nothing there.
The whole
like,
store.
then there's like, it was fucking huge. It took over the whole store at Best Buy.
Yeah.
And now there's nothing at Best Buy. Like they don't even have anything there.
No,
maybe a tiny little bit of manga and like a couple shelves of new releases.
Yeah, but physical media is coming back as a collector's medium.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, I keep busting my friend Chris, my boy Chris. I keep busting his balls because he's in the market for a new TV, and I'm like, you need to get a 4K TV.
Yeah.
Because they just came out with the 4K version of Hell of the Living Dead.
Oh.
Which is like the sleaziest, cheesiest Italian Dawn of the Dead ripoff you could possibly fucking imagine. It's trash. But he has like this perverse love for it. I love it too, but he just has it's his shit, right? And I'm just like, you need to get a 4K TV just so you can watch the 4K version of this movie that should be like on like some like muddy old like VHS.
Yeah,
that's what it deserves.
CRT.
It's that.
Yeah.
So the accessibility, right, is getting off the chain. So,
but have you noticed though that not to cut you off, sorry, but
no, I'm talking too much.
Well, yeah, I'm part of the tribe, so I have a very large so I talk way too much. But one thing that I've noticed though is like I'm a UX designer, so in my day job I design cybersecurity websites and web applications. And there's this term that is constantly used when I look at these designs, and it's called analysis paralysis. And I have found with the proliferation of the accessibility of our videos, of our media, of our entertainment, we get analysis paralysis, where you basically have so many options to choose from that you don't watch anything.
Yeah, you fall asleep. You just go.
And it's almost a curse. It's like a double-edged sword, because we used to hunt for our food or our media, and now it was a prize. Like, oh my god, dude, he brought home 6 freaking VHS tapes of Record of Load. What's this bubblegum crisis? Oh my god, that chick's got awesome tits. We gotta watch this, you know. So it was all that, and now it's like, oh, I can just go on, Crackle or what the hell, Crunchyroll or Netflix or this or that, and I literally have anything that I could possibly dream of. I just Google it, and Google tells me, oh, it's on this streaming service or it's on that, and then you finally you gas out, and you're like, is it really worth? I don't know.
Well, that can happen, and I fall into that trap. Usually when I'm smoking weed, it can happen easily to me when I'm smoking weed. But at the same time, I could be like right now, I'm like binging like the Debori Kyoshiro Sleepy Eyes of Death series, right?
Oh.
There's like fucking 14 movies in that series.
Damn.
Right? There's like 24 Zatoichi movies.
Oh.
And, so you can fall into that trap. It's a very real thing. But at the same time, it's just, I think of there being like some, I don't know, 15-year-old boy out there that's like, that's like let me watch this weird horror movie. That's a movie, right? And who the fuck is Mario Bava? Who's Dario Argento? Who right? Like, and then is going to fall in love, and and that goes for just about any genre you could think of. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that is that dream, that childhood dream of having like a remote control and a TV and being able to watch any movie you ever wanted to watch at any time can be a little bit of a curse. It just requires just a modicum of self-discipline.
Yeah.
Which I'm not necessarily the best at, but
I was telling my wife that we could watch anything. Like, and if they could stop producing shit right now, and there's still like a lifetime of shit
forever.
to watch.
we'd never run out.
We'd
And I
never
still
run
have
out.
infinite shit to watch. Like there's just so much shit I want to watch now. I can't watch it all. And I
Well,
won't.
so about 10 years ago, I was babysitting my nephew. I lived with my sister a while when I was switching careers. Video game industry. Not. It doesn't have a retirement plan, so I wouldn't advise young people to go into it. But I was watching my nephew, and I was watching the TV shows that he was watching on like the Cartoon Network and all this stuff, and it was absolute garbage. Like there were gems in there, like Avatar: The Last Airbender and like the Star Wars Clone Wars stuff. I didn't mind watching that with him. But when shit like Uncle Grandpa and like these like really like it's like, what are you teaching these kids? This is weird shit. This is worse than like MTV's experiments. I don't think a 9-year-old should be seeing this. So instead, what I did, and maybe I would ask for doing this, but I was like, you know what? If you want to watch cartoons, we're going to do it this way. And I went upstairs and I brought down my entire DVD collection of the Disney Afternoon. I'm like, if we're going to watch cartoons, you're watching DuckTales, Tailspin, Rescue Rangers, Gargoyles, which he loved the most, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Gargoyles the best.
Yeah, all of that stuff. Shit. So he missed out on like whatever the hell that crap was. That the ironic.
Yeah. There's a couple like I like because when it first came out, I was just like, oh, this shit's fucking lame. And there's a couple where I'm like, all right, there's one like Gravity Falls, and that one was Disney. So my daughter likes that one. It's kind of like Twin Peaksian a little bit, but for kids, And then there was another one that I dug a lot, but it went under the radar. They did one season of it, but it was called Fangbone, the Fourth Grade Barbarian. But it was based off of the books. Like there's books for it, like the kids books. But it's cool, dude. It's fucking metal.
Yeah.
But, it's on that line though, dude, where you kind of, you got to be careful. You know what I mean? But it was a good show. But I think that kind of came with like the aftermath of SpongeBob.
Yeah.
Kind of and courage.
Yeah. Well, he like so again 9-year-old kid, and it was like, Uncle Chris, can we watch another DVD of insert like Disney Afternoon or whatever? And it was like the way it was like metered to him. It was more appreciative because he still remembered it. Like I showed him Michael Jackson videos, on YouTube, and he's like, "This is awesome," like, "Oh, Michael, like this is shit that I saw when I was a kid," and like the Bad music video was like a 20-minute like mini movie. All that. Yeah, and it was like when I metered it out, I noticed he appreciated it more than when it was like whatever's on, because like we've seen like 20 things on Avatar or whatever, and it's like But
Gargoyles is the shit.
Oh God, yeah.
My kids like DuckTales. Like they have a new DuckTales that comes on, and I'm like, dude, this ain't nothing. You got to watch the old one. And but I like the new one. I'm like, you got to watch the old one. But I really like the new one. I'm like, all right.
Well, the new one is modern,
Yeah, I haven't watched it really, but it looks okay,
It's like I have a friend like she raised her kids with nothing but fucking Pixar. That's it. Nothing but computer animated movies.
Yeah.
Right? That's it. Pixar and like the the knockoffs of Pixar.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Because she finds because she's like a normie and she just finds those easier for her to watch.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm just like, God, those kids, they've never like all the shit they've been cheated out of.
Yeah.
Right? Or I had like one friend that was showing a lot of this crap to her kid. I brought over a copy of the Iron Giant.
Oh, love that one.
Good.
And that kid, I could not get that fucking DVD back from him.
Nice.
A good one, man.
And then
you watch everything, dude.
The fucking DVD, what's inside the DVD? The fucking little catalog for the Iron Giant toys.
Oh, I want that.
What? I'm like, oh fuck. And so I have to go on fucking eBay and fucking buy that shit for like 85 fucking bucks.
Oh,
right? But that's the thing. It's just like, you can show this stuff to children and they will still fall in love with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. My kids, they like all the old Disney cartoons. They like pretty much appreciate everything, but I noticed they like
parents realize.
They really like the old animation, but then they like some of the new stuff too.
Yeah,
that's fine.
And there was a lot of like you were saying, like that weird era though, like with Uncle Grandpa and shit like that.
Yeah.
It was fucking weird. You know, I remember she put that on. I'm like, what's up with this motherfucker? He's just kind of weird. You know,
Well,
I'm like, turn that shit
I don't know
off.
what that is.
I don't like that.
Well,
But
my
I
nephew
think-
was like asking me implications of how someone could be an uncle and a grandpa,
Yeah.
and I wasn't fully prepared to explain it to him.
Yeah, he's got his little rainbow suspenders, and he's like, you know, fucking farting out like unicorn rainbows and shit. Like,
his removable head. Yeah, like
fucking dumb.
Well, do you remember? Like, here's a weird cartoon. So this one bombed really badly, but it had a star-studded cast. It had Tim Curry. Like, it was called The Pirates of Darkwater.
Yeah, dude, that shit was awesome. I watched it a little bit.
That series.
90s had all the best cartoons, bro. Like there was a lot like
Yeah.
that. Like you know, like in that whole Ninja Turtle, you know, dark there's so many. There's like probably 30 of them. You know what I mean? Cowboys of Moon Mesa, Biker Mike from Mars,
Conan the Adventurer.
Conan, dude. Me and my son were watching Conan the Adventurer, and they actually had the lady that wrote the series. She was on Conan.com because they have a YouTube channel now because of the whole relaunch with Titan Comics.
Yep.
And dude, it was so good. And she was like, "Yeah, I was trying so hard to make it as faithful as I could, but at the same time, again, Master of the Universe. It's no like I got my kid watching right now. We're watching the Cartoon Network's Master of the Universe. I actually prefer that one to the original one.
Yeah,
I love the action in there.
The 2000 one, right? That's the one where King Grayskull and they had the origin of
Skeletor.
Yeah, that was awesome,
dude.
dude.
Off in the first like 2 minutes of the show.
Yeah,
dude, great. And so we're on like it's only 2 seasons, but it's good, you know. And
Yeah,
the fight scenes, they jump up in the air and they're like, and, like they're doing all these flips and like they're all acrobatic. I'm like, dude, it's just not gonna get any better than like because I love the fight scenes. You know, I'm all about the fight scenes, and not every episode's like that though. Some of them they do different shit, but when they do they go hard, you know, on the fight scenes.
Well, maybe I'm a Philistine, but I actually preferred that 2001 to the original Filmation one.
Yeah, me too.
It was so well done.
I still got the Skeletor from that the toy because at that time, I was pretty young still. But not I can't remember how long.
Comes with the little acid vial, and he's got the Havoc staff.
Yeah, and he was like they were like lean and tall, like they had like a different muscular system. I did like the old ones, but the new one. I haven't seen the 2 new Netflix. They have the woke Kevin Smith one, and then they had another one with these weird bodies, but I didn't check that out. But I've been trying to. Me and my boy, we're watching that right now. We already watched Gargoyles, and I'm trying to get him like I'm like, let's watch one thing at once. You know, another show that I thought was cool was Spider-Man Unlimited. I thought that was fantastic. You know what I mean? That was like Island of Dr. Moreau, but you know, in space. And
dude, they had a Throg episode. Yeah. I love me some fucking Throg.
Yeah, Spider-Man Unlimited, and then
Spider-Man.
Gargoyles was the first thing I watched. I got Disney Plus specifically for Gargoyles, and they're doing a live action TV show of it. I don't know if you heard about that.
And that's what worries me is that Gargoyles, other than being the retirement home for the cast of Star Trek: The Next Generation, right? Like by today's standards, it would be woke as fuck, and it bothers me.
Yeah, it would be. Yeah.
Nobody like the only white guy in the show was the villain, Jonathan Frakes, you know, Xanadu. But like I loved it so much. There was no this was pre-woke. I loved every episode. I loved every character. I loved when they did the Macbeth stuff. I even loved when they did
Macbeth. I like Macbeth, and then I forgot his name, the clone brother, you know, and then Goldstone.
Yeah,
I got the board game, dude. I got the board game. I just got
Thaylog.
Yeah,
yeah, and dude, I loved Demona. Like she was a sympathetic villain. And like all that stuff, and it's like, how are they going to make this kill Whitey or like, you know, crap on white guys? Or, you know what I mean? Like,
I'm really concerned because I was like, okay, Disney's got this is like their one franchise. They actually own a fucking dope ass metal fucking franchise.
Yes,
written by a comic book writer. You know what I mean?
Pinnacle.
It's a combat Batman the animated series that they own that. They don't got to go buy it from like fucking Hans Christian Andersen estate, you know, and sit on it for 200 years and make a Frozen movie out of it. You know, they own Gargoyles. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And I'm like, how are they gonna fuck it up? And they've been trying to make the movie for a long time. It's been jumping around. Like Jordan Peele was gonna make it.
Oh no,
that didn't work out. And so they're like, let's do live action. And personally, for me, I think the ultimate form for comic books is done episodically as a TV show. It's just kind of impossible budgetary by the budget because comic books they're TV shows, bro. They're
serialized storytelling,
episodic, and that's the best way to do it. And then you have your summer event movie is when they come together on a team also known as Avengers or Justice League. That's what you do, or you have your season finale as, that summer's blockbuster for that TV show.
Yeah. I worry that it's like they're gonna make Eliza Maza like an insufferable girl boss, and they're
gonna be a
gonna
lesbian or something.
Guaranteed. Broadway is gonna be gay or something, or Lexington. Like,
hey, Lexington, yeah, I like your butt. Like, nah, dude.
MMON, that spells butt.
Oh, the pack. Remember the pack? That fucking team was dope, dude. Then they evolved. Like they had a nice arc where they started becoming like more like werebeasts.
Yeah, well, it was like some of them went the mutation route, and some of them went the cyborg route, and they all became freak shows.
And remember her brother got all fucked up and became like that gargoyle panther.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Macbeth is like, Sean Connery, are you Macbeth? Like, dude. But
he's an immortal bounty hunter.
He was like Blade pretty much though too at the same time, like dude, they're watching Blade,
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. I love that show, and it's just really, really, really good, really great show. But all those cartoons, man, like I don't know.
Yeah, well, that's why I'm worried about modern Disney touching this, because it's like I love Gargoyles. It's right up there. It's one of my favorite series of all time.
Yeah,
and Disney has been on this demoralization propaganda thing for like the last decade, and they've destroyed everything. Like all their live action remakes are soulless and ugly, and they're vandalized. Like they're all like Marxist crap.
Even Lilo. Yeah.
We
were gonna watch
even
Lilo.
Lilo.
And I heard they
Ohana.
I'm like, we're not gonna go fuck with this shit.
Well, the whole point of Lilo was Ohana. It was like family is who you choose. Like family is important. They like everybody should stick together. And the new lesson that they've done with this live action one is, well, when family is inconvenient and get in the way of your dreams, you can pitch them off on someone else.
Yeah, no, I mean, modern Disney's sociopathic.
Yeah, they are. Totally.
They really are.
Yeah.
And, I mean, but here's the thing. It's like if you watched like Daredevil Born Again, you could see them course correcting while they were making the show.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, they're trying to.
And when you get to the last episode, you realize that it's like a mission statement. It's like, okay, like the next season is gonna be like the real fucking Dilly.
Gonna be the shit,
right? So
he goes full Terrifier though in there. I give him that. When Fisk,
dude,
he the chief of police,
nice
he smashes his head.
Splatter fucking
so
effect,
gory,
dude.
Oh, that was good.
Yes, I mean that dude, that got such a pop out of me.
They've lost so much money.
Like,
I think Disney's like, all right, bro, we got to start making some money now. Like we really lost a lot of money. I think we got to start firing some motherfuckers and.
Dude, they bought Star Wars and didn't turn a profit with it.
Yeah, and then
they're
that new
still in the red.
Gosling, what is it? Starfighter. They're doing a new movie called Starfire with Ryan Gosling. That's going to be the new Star Wars thing. I'm like, hopefully it's cool. It's a cool like new story. It's a brand new story. Like we'll see. I don't trust anybody for anything anymore. But I'll give it a shot. I don't trust the new Punisher. I don't trust the new Gargoyles. I don't even know when they tell me, no, it's going to be great. I really respect the cartoon. It's going to be great.
Nope.
I'm going to tell you everything you want to hear and everything you want to read. I'll believe it when I see it.
Well, remember they did that? Well, they did that with the Masters of the Universe on Netflix there. Yeah. And when Clownfish had like an insider, Clownfish TV, they had an insider like, no, dude, this is going to be woke trash. And they got called out, and they were basically inundated. They were dogpiled by the Netflix crony crew, to come in and like defend it and be like, you guys are just putting this down. You're all crap. You're all rage baiters or whatever. And the Clownfish was fully vindicated.
Yeah, totally. I never watched that too, and never had any reason to. And I was just like, I'll watch the Cartoon Network one. It's way doper. And then maybe I'll check out that one with where they got the big kind of big bodies and shit. But I like He-Man, dude. It's a big, that's a kind of inspiration on some like the L-Word stuff I'm doing, and maybe even a new universe thing I'm working on. I like it's just fun, kind of a rip off of John Carter in a way.
I mean,
Conan. But
look, it has potential.
Nothing's new,
but I mean, like the thing to me that was super offensive was like, for instance, if they offered me the job to write He-Man, I would take it.
Yeah,
even though He-Man came along like I was the wrong age. I was like way older.
Yeah.
Right. I was into punk rock and girls and shit like that.
Yeah.
Right.
No. Yeah. It's lame at that point for you.
But what I would do is I would go on the fan forums and I'd be like, okay, why is this special to you?
Yeah. Why is it special to you? Why do you love this? You know, let's see
And
if I
when you
can.
right.
You know.
And when you keep hearing the same thing over and over and over and over again, those are the things that you run with.
Yeah.
Have some fucking respect for the source material. Have some respect for the fans, even if you're not a fan yourself.
Yeah.
You know,
pretty easy, you know, and then
you
throwing
know,
a couple new things, you know, and then keep a couple new things that, you know, that not self-projection and
make it your
own, you know, but
make it your own, but at the
surprise
same
them a little
time,
bit. You know, you got to surprise them with something, you know, to make it interesting for you and them. You know, I believe in that.
Yeah. Like David Goyer, when he got the job for writing the sequel to The Crow, he went on like the fan forums and he was just like, you know, it was asking people like, what do you want to see? What do you don't want to see? And they were just like, it can't be Eric Draven. It can't be Eric Draven. It can't be Eric Draven. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Done. Right. It just, you know, and that's the thing, you know, I mean, Kevin Smith has done some stuff I really like, but
you
know, it's just like,
something happened to that guy too.
don't
I
be
think
fucking
he just
disrespectful to the fucking fans.
Oh, Kevin Smith died.
He
had a heart attack. Yeah, so all of his talent was in his fat, and when he died, like he died from that coronary. What came back was a raging gunk monster.
Yeah, totally, dude. Like this said, like I don't know if they induced him with soy or what, and then he just trying to survive.
The
you know,
cock demon, yeah.
Trying to soy vibe, you know. It's just like, dude. After that,
they gave it to him through a fucking strap on too.
Yeah,
they injected it rectally.
yes.
Now I don't really trust him, so I have to like.
No way.
No,
you know what I mean.
No, everything that's come out since he's like gotten skinny, it's been awful, dude. And I was a big Kevin Smith fan back in the day.
Me too.
Yeah, I think his best movie is Strikes Back. Like as far as like me laughing my ass off and smacking my knee the most out of all his films. Yeah, it's gonna be Strikes Back.
Yeah, the commander bit was what got me, dude. I freaking lost it in the theater.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. Yeah,
make the video.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
I still really like Dogma. Like Dogma
that's
is
a good
my
one.
favorite movie.
That one's pretty good.
Yeah, what gear is this car in? Gear?
Yeah, I mean, you know, he used to be an interesting filmmaker, but you know, well,
he's an artiste, man. That's what like, he put his stamp on it. You know what I mean?
Yoga.
Now he's putting his stank soy on it. I don't know, but
on that note, Matt, thank you so much for having me on. I do have to fucking peace out and spend some cat time and get powered down and ready for bed. Chris, good talking to you, brother, man.
Good talking to you too, man.
I look forward to reading the book.
Hell yeah.
Best of luck with this campaign. Everybody, back Chris's book, and most importantly, support indie fucking comics. Because we give you the cool shit, the fly shit, the dope shit, and we'll never bait and switch you.
Yeah.
Well, that's one I won't do.
All right.
Yeah.
Peace and love, fellas.
Hey, Brian, where can people find you?
Oh, on the fucking interwebs. I got a
Brian,
weird name. Just do a fucking Google search.
I've been shouting you out.
Facebooks. I'm on the YouTubes. Hey, actually, tomorrow I'm probably going to do a stream about a little movie from the 1970s that people shouldn't be sleeping on because it's eerily prescient these days called Rollerball.
Oh, Rollerball.
Yeah.
I mean, which depending on the year I watch it, I either think is like a pretentious piece of shit or like one of like the best things ever.
I've never seen it. I've seen the remake a long time ago. The remake, but I gotta go watch.
My dad John McTiernan.
My dad always talked about the original one though. So
yeah, it's worth checking out. And yeah, tomorrow I'll be yapping about it. And Matt, if you're around, of course, be good to see you. But everybody. Have a good night. I'll talk to you soon. Peace and love. Peace and love.
Later, brother.
Nice.
Yeah, but those cartoons, man, those 90s cartoons were the shit, bro. Like with Ninja Turtles, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel like we've lost it too, because like I said, I was basically governing what my nephew could watch, And
Yeah.
we sat through the entire Avatar: The Last Airbender, like all the series. Like we went through it like probably twice. And then it was announced, hey, they're making another Avatar. It's this thing called The Legend of Korra. We watched the first few episodes, and I'm not even like making this up or anything. My nephew turns to me and he goes, Is Korra the baddie? Is Korra the bad guy in this one? Like, what do you mean? Well, like she's beating up people that like that guy said that like they don't like the people with the powers because they like hurt people, and she came back and hurt everybody. Like, yeah, like she's like all of her teachers are telling her to do stuff, and she just basically tells them no. I'm like, okay, this is clearly for modern audiences. We'll watch something else. So we watched like 3 episodes of it and just ended it right there. We're like, no, like I'm not going to give it a chance. Like it's sending bad messages to kids.
And it's like if I'm not going to watch that, and if I'm going to watch something that's bad, like a cartoon, I'm going to watch Tom and Jerry. I'm going to let them watch Tom and Jerry. I'm going to let them watch Merry Melodies.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to watch that. That's hilarious. I love me some old, WB, Chuck Jones,
Yeah, the old school stuff, or even like the old Popeyes and stuff. Like,
yeah, dude, I love that stuff.
God, yeah, it's just so depressing that like it's almost like culture ended in the 90s, and
yeah,
we're now
I think everything died in the 90s. That's my whole thing. Like I said, music died, and I because I grew up in the 90s. I was born in 83. I'm 41. So I was the best comics. Comics peaked, music peaked, cartoons peaked, wrestling peaked. That's like four things right there peaked in the 90s as far as I'm concerned,
Yeah, and but like we use like America's chief exports, like other than agriculture, like we can outproduce food. Like our other export was culture. And ever since like it got hijacked by these like demoralization things, like we aren't exporting culture anymore. Like look at the foreign movies that are owning at the Oscars. Like we had that Korean film Parasite that ate our lunch. It's like I'm not upset at the Koreans for kicking our ass at this. I'm upset about how terrible our movies are for a foreign film to come in and clean house.
It's got to like be like a new generation's got to come in, and they got to really respect the craft a little more, because even like with comic book inking, like people aren't even inking anymore. Like that's kind of like a lost craft.
Oh wow!
And lettering's gone now. We're just doing everything digital,
Yeah,
which I do too. But you see, like it's a slow trickle.
Yeah.
Then you have AI. People probably can just AI their comic book and print it, or just send it out digitally, and it can save money. It's faster,
Dude, that's my biggest fear, is that the entire death of entertainment media is going to come from AI.
Yeah, no, I'm 100% against AI. I'm just not for it, dude. It's just a fine line. I got to drive, kind of like rush hour, I mean, I'll use it as a search engine. I'll use it like instead of Google. I'll use Grok now instead of Google if I need to cut through some fat. But I'm not going to have it write a story for me. I'm not going to have it draw a picture for me. I'm going to do, who is the god of fucking, India and that I'll look up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
well, did you hear about the Amazon fiasco recently, where there was a novel that was getting all these awards and had a high like bestseller or whatever, and somebody was reading through the book and they found the prompts for the AI. Like they accidentally left in the like prompts.
Oh, that's horrible.
So it's saying that like the things that are selling, are just AI generated, and it's like how many other things have we not found that are doing this crap? Like
who knows? You know what I mean? And they can, and then you have a lot of activists in Hollywood and in these entertainment industries that are writing shit, and some of the Chat GPT can actually write it better than them at the year, which is sucky,
Yeah, like when I was writing, when I first produced the first book for the INFINITALE Chronicles stuff, I was paying attention to the people that were reviewing, because again, you can't treasure what you don't measure. So you always want to get the feedback, especially the negative feedback. And the person was reviewing it, and it was really weird because like what they got out of the story was very different than what another reviewer got and what another reviewer got. And they're like, this one's like, oh, well, it's about how people need to avoid having like the governments taking over their lives. And there's no such thing as utopia. And like when totalitarianism in our government oversteps, it's, basically becomes like communism, essentially. This is the end result. It's always going to end in death. And another person is like, oh, well, I see it more as, like we've been, always question reality and that we're never in the reality we think we're in and blah, 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 blah. And then the third one, and I'm like, when I was writing this, like I was like 13, 14 or whatever. And my biggest analogy that I could pull from it, and again, I'm not telling people what they should and shouldn't get from it, because I think that sermons are reserved for the pulpit and lectures are reserved for the classroom. This is entertainment. You should just take whatever you want.
Fun.
And when I wrote it, like I saw it as more of like less of like religious dogma, which a lot of people got because obviously there's that overt religiosity or whatever in it. But like it was also like a story of kids escaping like an abusive household, like growing up, like how painful it is to leave the nest. And like so there's all these different like metaphors and allegories and whatever you can pull from it. And I don't know if AI will ever be able to attain that kind of like catch-all.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
The layers of the human soul that's attached. It's tethered to your work. You know what I mean?
It's just really well compiled phrases and sentences put together. It's not, telling you like the meta story. Like when you zoom out and you see the composition for what it is. When a human does
nuance.
that,
human nuance.
There you go. That's the perfect, human nuance.
There's little ticks in there. And then the thing too about AI, it doesn't go on that hunt that we do as artists. As artists, we have to go on a hunt, and we need our dinner prize. And we have to fuck up and make mistakes and shoot an arrow at that dinner prize and miss, and that's fun. We love doing that, and that's the artistic journey for the specific piece, whether it be your painting or writing, or drawing or what have you, And AI doesn't go through that. And then when you're putting out your work, someone's gonna be attached to your work. Okay, someone's going to be a fan of your work, and they're going to be able to connect with that on a emotional level. You know what I mean? And I think that I don't know. It as far as that level, it's a human level, and AI, it's a non-human level. You know what I mean?
Well, and like AI doesn't look to the future. Like when they're writing something now, they're not looking to set something up for a future revelation. And you were mentioning like the emotional component. Like this is going to sound really weird, but like I want people to cry when they read these books. I want emotional resonance.
That's what I want too. I didn't really have that on my Butch Cleaver books. It was a little different tone wise. It's kind of like kind of like Evil Dead, but a gothic horror western. With fun. With a lot of stuff. It's almost like what is it? A buffet. Of different stuff. But my new book I'm doing, it's definitely a Norse bounty hunter, book, kind of like crossing Lobo, Thor, and the Incredible Hulk, kind of like.
Oh damn!
Like that would be the three kind of things. I hate doing that, but it's a quick, get people mind that wise, But definitely, I want to rip people's hearts out emotionally, and I want to kick it through a field goal, and I want people to remember it. And I think all stories need to go that way, even if it's kind of cheesy and you're having fun on the way there, because
also I'm also when I'm telling the story, I'm not telling people who to think are the good guys, who are to think are the bad guys or whatever. Like be the judge for yourself. Like you're the reader. I'm not here to tell you, I'm just giving you the story and you're to formulate your own stuff. Like there are questions it asks, like, would you prefer dangerous safety to dangerous freedom to a safe prison?
That's like kind of like Far Cry, you know what I mean? Or was it not Far Cry, Fallout,
it's or like
Matrix,
well like you basically it's the whole like the first book is basically about what's stronger, a mother's right or the god's might. And it's if you were in this scenario where you were told you would live forever and you'd have everything perfect and you'd live in paradise, the only thing you had to do is you had to kill your kid, would you do it? And it's like you follow Aisling here, who makes that decision, and whether or not you agree with it, she basically says hell no. Like I don't want my kid to die. Like I will do whatever it takes to make sure my kid survives. And it's like, how does that come about? Like how does that maternal instinct how does that come about when you don't know what it is to be a mother or a daughter because you're this ageless eternal being? Like so there's some type of instinct or in there that there's something latent in mothers, you know, whereas there's that need to protect your child or your family or your loved ones. And you see this pain that she goes through because she makes some stupid shit decisions to protect this kid, and it ends up screwing over everybody else. But it's like, did she make the right call? You know, like, would you sacrifice
when you're writing the book? You know,
yeah, it's the moral conundrum. Would you sacrifice 5 strangers for the life of one loved one?
Yeah.
And that's most of us would. Most of us would. And that's, we have no problem when we see on the news over in the Middle East about 300,000 people just died. You know, it's like, oh, it's something on the news. That's terrible, whatever. But you're walking down the street and somebody gets a bullet through their brains. That is going to mess you up, you know. First time I saw a dead body, dude, screwed me up for like almost a week straight. You know?
Oh yeah. It'll kind of be there, you know, like forever, a little bit, you know.
Yeah.
It's gonna kind of haunt you a little, you know.
Yeah, like all of our veterans coming back from these wars, like I do not like. I think they should be fully supported. I mean, it's workman's comp at this point. The psychological damage of having to kill another human being, that's damage. That's an injury, you know.
Yeah, 100%.
And you know, unfortunately, they don't get the, you know, I'm preaching that on Memorial Day. I realize that how ironic that is, but like,
all right, you know, things are what they are. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
they need more help, dude. They're not getting it, you know.
Yeah. And it's actually like I try to explore some of the like the PTSD stuff in this, because like there is a military represented here. I haven't served. My dad was the first Fisk actually to not serve. His dad, my grandfather, served in the Royal Air Force, the RAF, and then he came over to during World War II. America did, or the USA didn't have an Air Force during World War II. They had the Army Air Corps Division, and the Brits, basically the Allies, got together and formed the Air Force. You know, the eggheads, the boffins, and that was so. My dad was born on an American Air Force base in. Oh, God, I can't remember. It was in the United States. Yeah, moved around and stuff. But like, yeah, I have a lot of friends in the military, and I got a lot of respect for that. And I try, you know, some of the stories that they told me coming back, you know, they've changed, and I kind of want to, you know, represent that in some of the story stuff too, where you've got these characters that have seen some shit, and they come out on the other side, maybe a little worse for the wear, but it's like, this is what trauma does to people, you know.
Yeah, totally, man. It really does stick with them for a while.
Yeah, it's the ghosts that haunt you when nobody else is around and you're creeping at night, you know, when you're alone in your bed and you hear all the voices of those that you ended, you know.
Yeah, it's heavy.
Yeah.
I remember like I was doing just like research on some of the Civil War stuff, you know.
Oh yeah.
Project I was working on, and it's pretty that alone kind of was sticking with me. Some of the, even like some haunted places.
Oh yeah.
From Gettysburg.
So
I think there's another one.
Yeah, you see all like the sightings around like the Battle of Shiloh and Gettysburg and like all these places. Yeah. They're like, there's like paranormal activity that's like
bunch of energy.
Yeah. Well, like here's the weird thing is, like, philosophically speaking, I'm wondering if, as far as like the way that we perceive the afterlife or ghosts or whatever, what if they're not sentient and they're just echoes of energy that's been left an impression?
Yeah, I think that's like that's a big possibility, personally. You know, it's just like up like kind of, you know, energy, electrical, whatnot, that was so much of it built up that it stayed, you know, after the past.
Like somebody every morning gets up and you know, I don't know, runs the sink or whatever, you know, runs the tap, and then they die, and then somebody else inherits the house, and then at that exact moment every morning the tap suddenly starts turning on or drips or whatever, and it's like, maybe it's not a sentient force that's doing it, but it's an impression left behind that's, you know, that energy that's continuing to do the same repetition over and over, you know.
Yeah, it's just used to it, accustomed to it.
Yeah. I don't know, like, well, at least in the INFINITALE stuff, I actually go to the sentient, basically the dead are they're I don't want to give too much away, but being dead isn't the final form in this universe, and it's actually quite tragic.
Oh wow, that's fucking heavy.
Yeah.
When do you predict the third book might be coming out? Do you have any prediction?
I'm hoping that it'll probably take a little, maybe a year. But we ran into a lot of snags with book 2 because my plan was to get all 10 books out before I die, and it's not looking that way if we're gonna have to wait 5 years or 4 years between each book, which is what happened between book 1 and book 2. But since I've teamed up with Nerium, she's been blasting out pages for book 3. Like that's why we're getting that 36-page preview for free. So we're going to be able to get that for book 3. And then when the final version of book 3 comes out, which will probably be comparable in size to book 2. So like around 120 pages.
The big boy.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is like, this is fantasy. Like, like this is, I tried to do the episodic thing. I tried to chop it up and be like, here's a one and done or whatever. But it didn't really give it justice. It didn't, in the sense that I want to introduce I want to give a historical primer. I want to introduce readers into the world of INFINITALE. And the whole kind of reasoning for that is that, the behind the scenes reason is that I'm going to give an introduction to the world of INFINITALE. And at the end of the 10-book series, release the tabletop role-playing game and allow players to make their own continuance of stories. That's what Infinite Tale is. It's a portmanteau, infinite and tale.
That's awesome. And it's kind of based off of the Finn,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
in there, right?
Yeah. There's I mean, it's weird, going through some of the stuff that I had from the game. And it's like, I had one proofreader and he was looking at some of the art and he's like, what the hell is that? That's not in, like, because he's read through all 10, like he knows the whole story front to back. He's like, that's not even in this. What the hell is that from? I'm like, oh, it's from INFINITALE. He's like, I don't remember that in any of the books. I'm like, dude, it's totally there. He's like, but it's not in the War of the Trees. I'm like, yeah, the War of the Trees is only one saga. It's only one story. It's the story of the elves. There's also another 10-book series called The Empires of Ruin, which is the story of man. It's
okay.
And basically what it is the world of Asperia that Foithla, the continent, resides on. That's not the world that the game takes place in. The game takes place in this more non-magical, real grounded world called Monadea that's in like the early dark ages of mankind. So it's like the Viking, it's non-magical, realistic, historical, whatever. But suddenly you've got these immigrants from another world coming in and messing with stuff. And now you have two major polarized factions of the natural order of things or the magic chaos of things. And which side do you want to win?
Wow. When are you ever going to do books for those, or probably not?
I'm hoping. So
you got to do these 10 first, huh?
Yeah. I gotta do, like, again, I started this in the 90s. I have those like travel totes or those big those moving bins, just filled with notes. And we wrote the War of the Trees. I wrote that all. I went down to Boston during the Project Greenlight stuff with Matt Damon and Ben Affleck. And say what you will about them, like those guys are really good about cutting through the crap and looking at your stuff. And then basically I was told Hollywood will never touch this. Like no production house will ever touch this. You are way over budget. Like you're insane. Like this is not like any producer would look at this and just go see the money that it would take to get this out. Like your best bet is to do something animated or something, lessen your scope. And that was when I learned like world building means nothing unless you have a story in which it serves.
Yep.
And
stories first, right?
Yep. Yeah. So all that crap got thrown out. I streamlined stories. I pulled out all of the player nonsense. Because again, INFINITALE was the tabletop role-playing game system I developed. And the Chronicles are the chronicled game sessions. So I have thousands of pages of game session notes and people wrote it down, like the minutes of a meeting. And I turned it into a screenplay, calling it INFINITALE Chronicles, a big series, wanted to make it a TV series, an animated series, whatever. And I'm like, I don't have the resources for that. So we chopped it all up, made it into a graphic novel. series, and it was like, okay, we can get 10 books out of what you have here with all these pages, all the stuff you culled down. And we started with the first one, made it 54 pages, and I was like, okay, we can do that with the second book, the third book, and so on. So
that's awesome, man. I'm hyped up for it. I can't wait to get it.
Hell yeah, man! Like, I can't wait to see people's reactions to this, because the first one, like I said, there was all that cool like interpretation. They're like, oh, it's religious dogma, religion bad, and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And then other people were like, dude, this is about our government screwing us. And I want to see what people think of this next one, where we see a desperate queen do some stupid stuff to keep her kid alive, and then the story runs parallel because her husband, who she thought dies, she thought she sent him out to go to that forbidden city, and he died. His whole expedition failed, and everybody's dead. So she's like, okay, in order for me to protect this kid, I got to make some decisions. And she ends up trying to do a switcheroo where her birth, or I should say her pregnancy, marked the beginning of other people in her sovereignty having pregnancies as well. It's like kicked off the baby boom, and it's causing all sorts of problems where they're like, oh my God,
at the same time and shit.
well, it's like all these new mouths to feed. How are we going to get food to them? And oh my God, like, what do you mean I can't have fun anymore? I got to take care of the screaming brat, all this stuff. Because again, these are perpetual, pretty people with problems. They've never had consequence.
Never had to deal with responsibilities in that nature.
Exactly. So being thrust into motherhood like this, when you've spent an eternal adolescence doing whatever the hell you wanted, it's kind of a shocking, a jarring experience. And she ends up her midwife, the one that helped her deliver this kid, was actually like she was a herbalist or into animal husbandry. So she's not really used to like dealing with giving birth with people, but she did it with animals. That's why they're like, shit, we have nobody that specializes in this because we've never had it before. And
damn, this book's really like thought out. You really put a lot of
That's thanks.
Crazy. No, I mean, like, it's got a lot of layers. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, part of the preview here is that midwife is going around the sovereignty, and she's delivering all these kids, and she finds like this is how vain the Alfar are. These people are vain like Yahtzees. Okay, they find a baby that was born defective, as they call it.
Mm-hmm.
There's they're like, oh well, this other mother in this poor village, they're running out of food stocks. They got all these problems, and the kid's basically like messed up. Like this kid is like beyond repair. They should have just dashed his brains against a rock or whatever, because it's a defective kid. And they're like, it's like, wow, what a sick piece of shit. Why would you say that about a baby? Like, what is wrong with this kid to do that? And it turns out the only defect this kid has, or at least from what they know, is the kid has heterochromia, which is one eye is blue and one eye is green. Like, oh no, that's a death sentence. Oh no, what a defect. But in this world, the queen is like, shit, what I can do is get that defective kid to be sacrificed to the gods, and I can swap out my kid, in this village. He'll give up his birthright and everything. He won't be a prince, but at least he'll be alive. I'll never see him again. I can see him from afar or whatever, but I'd rather my son grow up poor in some village than, be eaten by the gods, essentially.
That's brutal. You gotta kind of like, well, I would say like Moses, but not really. Kind of swapped out a little bit though. That's cool.
Yeah. And we see the consequences of that. And then we, in the first book, the king consort, the husband, on behalf of his wife here, who was sick, she was too weak to go and do this. He went on, brought a doomed expedition out there, and basically they got ripped apart because of the deadly fauna out there. They get the Hydra messing with them, and then they got the Chronudi, who are the fawns, these bestial things that are always like raiding their villages and shit.
Awesome.
And they're like, fuck, like we're not gonna make it out alive, are we? So
I'm sure there's a warlord out of the fawn too, right?
Oh yeah. Well, there's a chieftain they meet, and there's a big surprise there. I don't want to give away too much.
Yeah, I'm excited now. Like I really pumped up, man. Probably gonna end the stream right now.
Cool.
We're going maybe about 3 hours or so.
Oh hell yeah!
It's been a blast having you on, man. You should come on again sometime and hang out if you want.
Hell yeah, man! Thanks for having me. I had a blast.
Yeah, absolutely. Where could people find you at?
Sure. So you can find me on X doing horrible spicy takes at INFINITALE Comic, or you can catch me over at www.infinitalechronicles.com. I know it's a lengthy thing, but you'll find me there if you just Google INFINITALE Chronicles, and it's got links to the current campaign that's running, and it's even got links to the previous book if you want to buy the second printed Amazon edition instead of trying to grab one of the first printing limited editions off of the current campaign. So yeah, that's where you can grab me.
And that's your website's awesome, infinital.com.
Oh, thanks.
Nice site, dude. I really dig it.
Hell yeah, man.
Thanks everybody for watching. I really appreciate it. Trying to do a live draw streams once a week now, and thank you again for watching. And I'll be seeing you guys. Should be seeing you guys next Saturday night at the normal time, unless something comes up and I gotta go and do some overtime at my day job. But yeah, I really appreciate you guys coming on. Always remember to be bold, be brave, and roll the bones to know your role. I'll see you guys next time.
Ghost still entering my body from all sides. I awaken from a cold cocoon inside of